Und wir are live.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nerdstown. I'm your mayor, and shit is changing. The room you've seen behind me for a long time will no longer be the room you will see behind me for a while. And I'm going to give your trigger warning here for you now. We will be talking about domestic violence and situations regarding those things during this live because unfortunately, and I know I don't have to do this, this is a nerd podcast. I don't have to air my dirty laundry out for you guys, but I want to be transparent because I am that type of person and me and my family need some help. So with that being said, that's your trigger warning. You're only going to get the one. So if you're not here for it, that's okay. We'll catch you on the next episode. I know we've been gone for 2 weeks. We've taken a 2-week break, and it wasn't scheduled. It wasn't planned. But unfortunately,
Well,
I am
1
now.
week was.
Yeah, 1 week was, but unfortunately, the other one wasn't. This is the domestic violence pamphlet. Now, this one is for my city, but I get it's called the Blue Book. And this is for my specific city that I live in currently. And you get this when you are a survivor of domestic violence. That is what, for 2 weeks ago, what happened, why we weren't here 2 weeks ago. You guys may notice that me and John are on our other podcast with two captains. We've taken about a 3-week break. We were supposed to come back last night, a couple nights ago, but we completely forgot about that. But it was also a 2-week break there. However, I've been putting everything on pause. Situations happened between me and my family that I was born into. Me and my new family, my wife and 2 kids, are having to move to Shreveport, Louisiana. We do have a GoFundMe up. I don't know exactly where it's at, but I will have my wife put it in the chat for the YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to know where it's at, it will be in the YouTube channel in the comments a little bit. The link to that GoFundMe. But if you want to try to look it up on GoFundMe, her name is Hannah Yarbrough. Okay. Look it up. Donate if you can, guys. I'm not asking. I mean, you don't have to. Half of you, I probably don't even know you personally. But if you'd like to help a family get a new start, it's appreciated. Anything and everything is appreciated, even if it's a penny. I don't care. Just help us get out. We are going to have to start anew in a city that my wife knows. She grew up there. We've got we got friends and family there, so we're not totally rude, but we are going to need our own place to live there and everything else. And we're doing this without a lot built up right now, anyways, which is why we have the GoFundMe so we can get out as soon as possible. Being a survivor of domestic violence, one, I gotta say, it still doesn't feel real that is what I am and what it's called. I don't like the label. I don't, and I'm a labels guy personally. I love my labels. Okay, I'm a baseball player. I'm a hockey player. I'm a TikTok creator. I'm a cosplayer. I love my fucking labels. Okay, because each one of them adds character to who I am. This is one I don't like. This is one I'm not happy to carry. This happened a little more than a week ago now. At a time where me and my family, my wife and kids, were getting ready to go on a 5-day vacation for a 3-day convention, meet one of our other friends from out of state. We don't get to see that often. So we were just very excited about that, and life happened. For those of you that are also DV survivors, first I want to say I am so very sorry that you've gone through that. But if you've got the Blue Book like I do, there are so many good things in this book that are willing to help. So many people that can help you. So many numbers and addresses inside this book that can and will help you. Give them a call. Reach out. Do whatever it takes to get back up on your feet, because the biggest thing that I have learned, I'm not going out like this, and I'm not letting this take me. I'm not letting this beat me down. Sure, it's been harder to sleep at night. It's been harder to eat. It's been harder to get out of bed. It's been hard to do anything. It's been hard to want to jump on a podcast and talk about the fun stuff with my friends that I talk about, whether it's here and it's all encompassing nerd culture, sports, pop culture, everything that anybody can nerd out about. Or it's my other one with John. We talk about Star Trek, a show that has literally gotten me out of situations like this before. Not this specific situation, but situations where it's hard to get out of bed. Star Trek has helped me get out of that. This time it's not. So I felt it very important to have this conversation with not only you guys here on the podcast with me, but with everybody listening. Because it's a hard thing to talk about. People don't talk about it enough, and those that survive it don't really want to talk about it. And I'm flipping the script on that because it's important to. One of the things we always talk about, especially with two captains, is our Star Trek podcast, is that you reach out when you need help. There's always people willing to listen and willing to talk you through whatever you're going through. And so I'm doing that. And it's hard. I'm telling you guys right now, it's fucking hard because none of this is scripted. I'm just talking out my fucking ass right now. Okay, I have no idea where I'm going with this conversation and how I'm going to get through this conversation, but I want to and I need to because I need help. And I would be lying if I said I haven't dialed 988 a couple times in the past week. In the middle of the night when everyone else is asleep. I've dialed that number to get help. For those of you that are not US bound, 988 is our mental health hotline that is absolutely free here in the US. And for those of you that are US bound, use them if you need them. They work. They'll get you through it. You'll be crying by the end on the other side of the phone, but you'll at least still be here. With everything that I've gone through in the past week and a half, I've been heavily relying on my friends and my wife and kids because personally, without them, I don't think I'd still be here. It's been a lot. It's been very hard. It's been very difficult. But I'm still here. And I know if you're struggling and you're going through something similar, you can get through this. I know you can. Because if you're going to sit here and listen to this and say, well, I don't have any fucking friends. Hi, my name is Chris and I'm your new friend. You have a friend. Call me, text me, DM me. All right. My shit is The Guy That Cosplays. Look me up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm there. Okay. The Guy That Cosplays. You can't get simpler with the fucking name. All right. I'm the first idiot that shows up under that name. All right. No spaces, no dashes, no underscores, just straight The Guy That Cosplays. Because it's not an easy job to go on your own. And I know that. Because even with my friends, my wife and kids, I've been looking for ways to just not anymore. And it's hard. It's hard. I've been sitting in my bed, rotting away like some random piece of meat since we got back from our convention this past weekend. And yeah, this happened while I was getting ready for a convention. As I said earlier, we did go. And I put everything into that convention. I used every last little bit of energy that I had, being myself, to be at that convention. And I had a really good time. Probably one of my favorite conventions of all time, personally, because I cosplayed what me and my wife and kids and our friend Carter do, and anybody that joins us. We at the end of the convention, very last day, we dress up as a D&D party. And it's a lot of fun. It's as much fun as you think it is, going around a convention acting like a D&D party. You react to people in costumes in the most bizarre and spectacular ways. They get into it. You get to have good laughs. and enjoy it. And I am the bard. I do have a guitar. I've been playing guitar for over 14 years now. I've never taken my guitar to a convention and played in front of that many people before because, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I'm a voice actor, but I have severe stage fright. And how could I be a voice actor with severe stage fright? Because I'm in a booth talking to a microphone, not in front of 20,000 people. I know there weren't 20,000 people at this convention, maybe 2,500 at most. And that was Saturday, and this was Sunday. But regardless, I've never done it. And like I said, I use the last little bit of my energy to be at that convention and be present in those moments. I loved it. I don't think I've ever had that much fun at a convention ever. I would play stupid little jingles and songs, and people would recognize them, and you just hear them shouting with me, singing along all throughout the convention, and it was just glorious. One of my favorite moments is we were leaving for lunch on Sunday, and I started playing Secret Tunnel from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I'm singing it, and these guys in front of us were leaving for the day, and I got done playing, and they're like, I just hear them talking to each other. They're like, "This is great. This is the best send off I've ever had at a convention. If this is what convention life is like, I'm going to go to more. This is great. This is awesome." Made me feel so good. It made me feel awesome. They turned around. They thanked me for the song. I had a couple people trade their items that they were selling for my songs. That was cool. By all means, technically I got them for free, but I traded a song for them, and the song was so good that I got these things. And did I ask for it? No. They were just gifting them to me after playing a song because they wanted a song, and I enjoyed it. So I've loved that convention. But since coming home, as people that go to conventions will tell you, there's a such thing as the con blues, and they hit. When you realize, I'm not going to go see another one of my favorite celebrities tomorrow. I'm not going to see some of my friends that I just made tomorrow. I got to pack up and I got to go home tomorrow. That's when it hits. And all of that to say, this time the con blues hit in a way that I didn't like. Because not only did I have to pack up and go home, not only did I have to not see the friends that I'd made, not only did I not get to see some of my favorite celebrities face to face anymore, I had to go back into a place that I don't want to be because of the situation that happened earlier that week. And that was the hardest, longest drive home of my life. I have been a shut-in since. I haven't really talked to anybody except to reach out to say, "Hey, do you want a game? Because I need a fucking distraction." Hey, what are you doing? I need a distraction. And it's been very minimal talking from anyone, to anyone from me, and I know that's wrong. Why am I doing this? This is exactly what I'm talking about. I know it's wrong, so I'm trying to get better about it. I went through something that is truly very traumatic. And while I have no physical injuries or scars, because in all honesty, what should have happened was only attempted because I turned around and fixed that situation before it could happen. It doesn't negate the emotional and mental turmoil that my body took. And it sucks. It really sucks. I can't say anything else other than it fucking sucks. I don't know what else to say. I will say, a lot of you know that I quit dipping a little over a month ago, except for last week after everything went down, bought 2 cans. I went through them. Throughout the convention, I bought a can. I went through it. On the way home, I bought 3 cans, and I'm going through them. In less than a week, I've gone through 7 cans of dip. It's not good. That's the most I've ever done. I'm a former addict. I'm a former addict of anything that didn't require a needle. Any and every drug that did not require a needle because I have a phobia of needles. I've done it all. And I'm 7 years sober, 7 years clean from that shit. It took a long time and the hell and back to be 7 years clean. And even still, 7 years without that shit, I still get the itch every now and then. Because you're never fully without it, no matter how far you get from it. And I've talked to people in my group that are 15, 20, 40 years fucking sober and 40 years clean, and they still get it. So I know that's hard too. And nicotine, as someone who has tried damn near everything, nicotine is the absolute worst I've ever fucking had. Because I have quit now 4 fucking times and I've gone back every fucking time. Now, I know a lot of people, including my wife, my friend Carter, even John here has said it, to stop beating myself up about it, because no one would have blamed me. No one blames me for needing that nicotine in this trying time. But the problem has become that when we got back from the convention, I filled up my gas tank, I paid my car note, and then I bought beer. Now, typically, if I buy beer, nobody cares because the beer, usually a 6-pack, will last me about 6 months because I have 1 beer a month, just about. Mostly because I don't do a lot of drinking. The most drinking I will do is if I'm going out with friends, I'll have about maybe 3 beers that night. At home alone, it's maybe a beer during a game. Maybe. And the games I watch, right now it's baseball season, and watching baseball on TV is about the most boring shit in the fucking world. And I say that as a diehard Cubs fan, as a diehard Rangers fan. Okay, I cried in 2016. I cried in 2023. Okay, our 2 World Series titles that I was alive to see. But God, I hate watching baseball on TV. It's nothing like watching it at the park. And sure, you could say that with any sport, but at least football's a little more entertaining on TV. Hockey's a little more entertaining on TV. Boxing, basketball, they're all a little bit more entertaining on TV. Baseball is slow as shit. The games last 3 fucking hours, and that's if they finish in the 9th inning. And they don't go into overtime. And then you're looking at another 5 to 6 fucking hours. Needless to say, I don't drink a lot, but I've gone through an entire 6-pack in less than a week. And I know it's a problem, and I'm trying to fix that problem. Do I have money? Yes. Could I go get another one? Yes. Do I want to? No. Am I stopping myself? Yes, because I know it could turn into a problem. I've never been an alcoholic. And I know where my stamina lies when it comes to drinking, right? I know the line. I know when I get to that line where I'm going to cross it. And I typically don't do that. I've had to stop myself from doing so much this week. For those struggling with addiction, for those struggling with sobriety, for those struggling with anything while you're going through this situation, if you're going through this situation, stay strong, because on the other side, it's worth it. It's not worth going back to the drugs. It's not worth going back to the medication. It's not worth going back to the alcohol. It's not worth going back to the nicotine, because I've been pissed about it since. I'm not sure if I'll be able to quit when I get done with these cans, but I'm going to try again. And I'm going to rely on everyone around me to help me, because that's what this is about. It is one of the most gross things in the world to have gone through, especially when it was someone whom I've known my whole life. especially when it's someone I look to as especially when it's family that does it to you. Because when it's family, you're supposed to protect each other. You're supposed to look out for each other. You're supposed to have fun together. You're not supposed to destroy each other. And unfortunately, that's what happened. So it's been really hard. It's been very hard because I don't know how to be part of this anymore. I don't know how to be a part of my family anymore because it feels like, what family do I have? If something like this could happen, that I could go so unprotected that this would happen. Love that I had shared with these people feels empty now. And it's been very hard to be a part of my family with my wife and kids recently. And that's not something I thought I would ever say. I love my wife more than anything. I love my kids so much. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for them. I'd burn the world for my kids. I would destroy cities for my wife, should the need ever arise. But it's been hard to be part of that unit because now I'm scared. Now I'm looking over my shoulder, and I don't like that feeling either. I haven't been the guy looking over his shoulder for 7 fucking years now. And I want ease. I want peace. I want comfortability in life. And it feels like all of that has been ripped out from underneath me, and I don't know how to get it back. But I'm going to try. And again, it all comes down to my wife, my kids, and my friends. Relying on them, talking to the people around me, making sure that I'm not how I feel, that I'm not useless, that I'm not a waste of space, that I'm not a burden on people. One of the things that my buddy Carter told me on the way back to the airport, taking him to the airport the morning after the convention was over, he had told me that, on the other side of this, when we get our own place, me and my wife, it's all the positives I get to look forward to. Such as, I don't have to ask for friends to come over at my house because it will be my house. I just tell them come over. I don't have to abide by anyone else's rules at my house because it's my house. I set the rules. Me and my wife will set the rules. I don't have to worry about dealing with anybody else's bullshit inside of my house because it's my house. So the bullshit that happens in that house will be my bullshit to deal with, not anybody else's that I'm dealing with on top of mine. It will be, I set the bedtimes. I set the dinner times. I cook. I get to cook the meals. I, take care of the house. I get to do all these great things for the first time. And I'm trying like hell to hold on to those because I know he's right. It's just hard to see right now. But enough about this situation for right now. I went to a con this past weekend, and this is Nerdstown. We talk everything nerdy. And I want to talk about some fun stuff that happened at this convention. One, my wife had secured a hotel room inside the same hotel that the convention center is attached to, which means we were in the same hotel with the celebrities. And have I got some great stories about that for you? We saw the 1990s Ninja Turtles cast, the 4 Turtles and Shredder. Unfortunately, April and Splinter couldn't be there, but that's all right. I'll catch them later. We got to see the 1990s Flash. We got to see one of the guys from Superman 4. We got to see John Barrowman Malcolm Merlin from The Arrow. That's how I know him. I know he's been in a hell of a lot. He's been on Doctor Who, more notably. We got to see Jason Lee, Ethan Suplee. Got to see our good friend Scott Ines. And I know I'm throwing names at you right now. I will tell you who all these people are in just a moment. I've got pictures. I got autographed pictures, and I'm ready to show. I got to meet David Howard Thornton. That's a fun one, and that's where I'll start. Art the Clown, Terrifier, and Terrifier 2. Terrifier 3, I think, that just came out. My buddy Ben, who is usually on this podcast with us, unfortunately, he's dealing with some stuff at home right now. Couldn't be here tonight. Him and his fiancee, Em, love horror films. That is, honest to God, what binds them together, and it is a beautiful thing. My buddy Ben loves Art the Clown. He loves him. That's one of his favorite horror characters of all time. He couldn't make it to the con, but I was going, and I had a little bit extra, so I got him David Howard Thornton's signature. Now I'm standing in line, and I'm asking the attendant. There's a guy right in front of me who's talking to David. Okay, but we're not far, like maybe a couple feet away from David Howard Thornton. And I'm asking the attendant, because again, he's talking to someone else. I'm not trying to be rude. So I asked the attendant, I said, hey, I'm getting the signature for my friends. Would it be all right if I called them on the phone while he signs it for them? And David says, hold on a minute, to the guy he's talking to, and turns to me and says, I'd be glad to talk to them on the phone if you can get them on the phone when you get up here. So I called him. I said, hey, buddy, do you have a minute? And he goes, kind of. I was like, you're going to want a minute. He goes, why? I was like, because I'm in line with David Howard Thornton, and I've got a surprise for you. I got the, the guy in front of me, talks to him for a little bit, says thank you, shakes his hand, moves on. And I move over, and I'm talking about Ben and M to him. And Ben already knows what's going on now. He's like, oh, this is great. Got a big old smile on his face. And I turn the phone and I hand it to David. And I can't see his reaction because the back of my phone is now facing me, but I'm pretty sure it was close to the smile he had on his face when I got the phone back in my hands after he and M got to talk to David Howard Thornton for about 5 minutes on the phone while he signed their picture. And I loved it. Bringing joy to that man is one of my favorite things in the fucking world, because I've known Ben for a very long time. We went to high school together. That's how long we've been friends. We're 10 years out of high school this year. We've been friends for 14 fucking years. I love this man to death. Getting to do fun things for him, because he goes through a lot as well, it was one of my favorite moments. And one of the coolest things is I didn't tell David what to sign. They didn't tell David what to sign. He was just signing their photo. And one of the things he signed, I have it here. Matter of fact. The couple that slays together stays together is what he signed on this photo. And what's funny about that is Ben and Em are getting ready to plan their own wedding. And that's one of the taglines they're using. I love it. It's beautiful. For those of you watching, there's a bloody clown about to show up on screen, but it's just a picture. It's just a picture. Turn away if you need to. This is that photo right there. I tried like hell though, because I know one of Ben's favorite art scenarios is when he's inside the Spirit Halloween, and I think Terrifier 2, and he puts on the sunflower glasses. But unfortunately, he didn't have a print of that particular photo, so I got that one instead. Because again, Ben loves gore. I mean, if you've seen the Terrifier films, if you know who Art the Clown is, you know there's a lot of gore involved, and to love that, you gotta love the gore. So
I love horror movies.
Yeah. Another fun one is meeting John Wesley Shipp. Not meeting him, seeing him for the third time. We've met him 3 times. The first time we met him, my daughter was 6 months old. And She was wearing a Flash onesie that I bought her, and he thought it was adorable. Um, he loved my Jay Garrick outfit that I was in that time, and it was awesome. Second time I meet him, I'm in the Jay Garrick outfit again. My daughter's a little bit older, and our son is cooking in the oven. And we tell him that, yeah, he notices my wife is pregnant. And he goes, oh, hey. Oh, and we had him sign the photo of all of us together that I got printed out. And he goes, well, I'll have to come back and see y'all again when he's born. And we said, we'd love to. We'd love to see you, because John Wesley Shipp, even if you're not a Flash fan, even if you have no idea who John Wesley Shipp is, if you want a genuine interaction with a celebrity at a con, meet John Wesley Shipp. You're going to get the most genuine interaction you'll ever have. You're going to get one hell of a handshake, then you're going to get a hug, and that hug's going to feel like every hug you've ever needed in your whole fucking life. And if you love The Flash, if you are a Flash fan, whether it's the 1990 series that he was on, or it's the 2014 series in which he played Henry Allen, Jay Garrick, and the Earth 90 Flash, reprising the 90s Flash role that he was in, you're going to love him. You're really going to love him then. We brought my son, who was 6 months old, in that same onesie that I bought for my daughter to meet him this time. And we got a picture with him. And he goes, oh my gosh, he's here. As soon as we showed up, he goes, oh, hi guys. Oh, is he here? Is he here? Can I see him? Remembered us again. I've gotten 3 signatures from this man. 1 on my Flash mask, 2 on the picture, and then the 3rd time I got this one. I will meet John Wesley Shipp at every convention that he is at. I love this man. One of the coolest things about meeting him, though, is the fact that going through what I'd gone through that week, I told him before, when the first time I met him, why the Flash means so much to me. And why I equate that hero to saving my life. Why he is my favorite superhero. Meeting him this time, I said, hey, I have a really weird request. And he goes, nothing's a weird request. What do you got? I said, can I talk to you as if you were the Flash? He says, go for it. And I said, hey, Flash, I'm really going through something right now. I've had a really tough week. And I just need to know I'm okay. And he goes, well, you're standing here, aren't you, kid? You got your 2 feet beneath you. You know what they always tell me? Just run. You got this. Keep your head up. Run fast. Be the Flash. And then I got the hug. And again, it was every hug I've ever needed in my entire life that I was robbed of. And then so. A very genuine man with a very genuine reaction. So if you're looking for a good one, he's always a safe bet. And he'll take as much time with you as you're willing to give him. Even if you meet him in the middle of the convention floor. I remember the first time we met him, I was walking through and just looking at stuff, and he'd almost bumped into me. And he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And I go, it's okay. Dude, you're the Flash. You ain't gonna apologize to me. Shit, you're fine. You're great. I'm sorry. I was in your way. I might have been stationary, but I was in your way. Fuck me. But I noticed his lapel pin. His lapel pin was a pair of scissors that was twisted into the lightning bolt. And it was a reverse Flash lightning bolt. It was a black background with the red scissors twisted into a lightning bolt. And I said, oh, I like your lapel pin. And he stops right there and for 5 minutes explains his lapel pin and talks about how it was a gift from the costuming department, that every season they gave them a different one, and that was the one from season 2. I didn't ask for that. I was just complimenting his lapel pin because it looked cool. Did I want the story? Fuck yeah. Okay, that was awesome. Getting to talk to him for 5 minutes And then he's like, well, if you'll excuse me, though, I've really got to go to the bathroom. And he's like doing a little bathroom dance. And it falls off. But he stopped for 5 minutes just to talk to me in the middle of the convention floor, just because I complimented his lapel pin. Again, he's always a safe bet. Always worth it. I promise you. Another one that I talked about earlier, Malcolm Merlin, a.k.a. John Barrowman. Oh, this guy was cool. I mean, whatever you think meeting John Barrowman is like, is just like that times 10. Okay, it is amazing. It is fun. He is so comical. He is so enthusiastic. I was just blown away by. Again, I met him as Malcolm Merlin, and if you've seen the Arrow show, Malcolm Merlin is just or if you read the comics, Malcolm Merlin is a terrible piece of shit. One of the biggest pieces of shit on the face of the world. Okay, now in the Arrow show in the later seasons, he has that turnaround where he's like, okay, fuck it, anything for my kid, my one remaining kid. Anything for my kid. And so he has that redemption quality there, but he's still a fucking dick, and he's still a piece of shit towards everyone else. But for his kid, he tries to be a better person, tries to be a better dad for his kid. And then ultimately sacrifices himself for the greater good. So at the very end, he was a hero. Then again, we don't truly know if he's dead. As John put it to me at the convention, he goes, well, I may not be dead. And I was like, that's great. Because we never see him die. We just think, we're led to believe that he is. But he's so opposite of Malcolm Merlin. So extremely opposite of Malcolm Merlin. I mean, it's like Tom Felton and Draco Malfoy. Right? I have not had the opportunity and chance to meet Tom Felton yet, but everyone's heard stories of how nice Tom Felton is, and we all remember Draco Malfoy and how much we just want to right in the face, right? But when you meet Tom Felton, all of a sudden you're like, no, I actually like you. You're cool. John Barrowman was really, really fun. I would definitely recommend anyone to meet him. It doesn't matter what it's for. Go meet John Barrowman. You're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have a laugh for sure. He's great. Day one of the convention though was Friday. Con didn't start till 5. Here's one of the funny stories about staying in a hotel with the celebrities. I've seen Superman 4 dozens of times. Okay, and I say dozens because I haven't seen it as much as I've seen the original Superman with Christopher Reeves. Because Superman 4, well, let's all be honest here, as much as we love Christopher Reeve, Superman 4 is hard to get through. It's like watching Star Trek, the motion picture. It's like watching Star Trek, the Final Frontier. Okay, it's just hard to get through, no matter who you are. Now, personally, I kind of like it, but it can be a bit of a difficult one to get through. And most fans would agree it sucks. However, I remember Mark Pillow from the movie. I don't remember his character's name, but I'd seen Mark Pillow. Mark Pillow was going to be at the convention, and earlier that day, me and wife and the kids were up at the pool swimming. Our friend Carter was with us at the pool at the top of the hotel. It was a 12-story hotel. Pool's at the very top on the 12th floor, which is really cool. You get a beautiful view of bumfuck nothing Shreveport from the top of the hotel. They put the pool on the wrong fucking side, because here's downtown Shreveport. Okay, here's the hotel. Here's the pool. Pool's on this side. Okay. So you get to see the other side. You don't get to see downtown Shreveport. You get to see the other side. But it's okay. It's all right. It's whatever. Not my design choice, but anyway, we're swimming and we decide, okay, we're gonna go down to the room. We're gonna have we're gonna have late lunch, early dinner, and then get ready to go to the convention. So we get in the elevator. We start riding down, and our elevator stops on floor 9. on floor 9, this nice gentleman, gentleman steps in. He's like 6'4", gotta be. Bald head, everything. Steps in the hotel, in the elevator with us. We're going down to our floor. Our floor is 3. He's heading down to the lobby. I asked what floor he's going to. Press the button for him. And he goes, I like your Superman shirt. Of course, I'm wearing my Superman shirt at the time. I got my Superman hat on. I'm like, oh, yeah. It's great. And he goes, what'd you think of the new movie? Or have you seen the new movie? I was like, yeah, I've seen. I did get the chance to see it. He goes, what'd you think of it? I was like, honestly, I fell in love with the character for the first time and all over again at the same time after that movie, and I enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what James Gunn does with the DCU. Of course, it's no Christopher Reeves, but I think David Cornsweet is they did the right thing by casting him. I had no idea who this was. 5 o'clock rolls around. We get down to the convention. And we're off to see John Wesley Shipp because I wanted to see him first. And standing next to John Wesley Shipp is this nice gentleman, about 6'4", had to be, bald. And I make eye contact with him. He makes eye contact with me. We get a little bit closer, and I point out to Hannah and Carter, and I said, no wonder you wanted to know about my Superman shirt when I thought about the fucking movie. It's fucking Mark Pillow. So, which I'm pretty sure he heard me because he starts laughing a little bit. I can't believe that I fucking rode the elevator with Mark Pillow. It didn't click. It did not fucking click why this guy was asking about my Superman shirt. Because again, we're at a convention. Okay, the convention starts today. Other people are staying in this hotel for the convention. We already met a couple of them. So it could just be, to me, it's just another fan asking another fan about the fucking movie. Not clicking for me, because I never stayed at the hotel with the celebrities before. So I'd never had this opportunity before. I felt so embarrassed the rest of the fucking day. But he was very nice about it. He said, I did get to meet him and say hi. And unfortunately, we did not get his autograph. We just couldn't afford it with everything else we were getting the rest of the convention. But I did at least get to say hi and talk to him about Superman 4 and talk to him about what it was like to play alongside and be in the same room with Christopher Reeve and what kind of person Christopher was. And that is a conversation I will never forget. The Superman we were robbed of, right? Like, I mean, even if he was alive today, we sure as shit wouldn't be seeing him as Superman. Even without the accident, we wouldn't be seeing him as Superman. Maybe he would have been able to play Superman's dad in the movie, or maybe Pa Kent in the new movie if he was alive and able to. But either way, we were robbed of him, unfortunately. But the stories I got from Mark were just great. Everything I thought, the person I thought Christopher Reeve was, is who Mark confirmed him to be. And I don't know if he did that out of generosity or, just to keep this image of Christopher being Superman to be alive, or if this was just genuinely who he was. But either way, he'll always be Superman. And I love that. It was the little stories of what they would do backstage, or when they would get caught out in public wearing the costumes, that he would stop off and say hi to people, and he would go to hospitals and stuff in the suit to say hi to kids, comfort people. I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. And so having that little conversation is something I will never fucking forget. Even more so, Brian Tucci, another story. Brian Tucci, who played Leonardo in the 1990 live-action Ninja Turtles movies.
Oh, I feel old.
I shit you not. We were on floor 3. Okay, we were on floor 3. We were in room 311. Brian Tucci, we found out, the after the first night that Leonardo was on floor 3, room 308. And then the layout of this hotel, we could have walked out of our room, not even shut our door, knocked on his. That he was right across the hall from us. Holy shit. Were me and Carter fangirling about the fact that Leonardo was across the hall.
Oh,
It was phenomenal. Carter luckily got to ride the elevator with him twice. Lucky fuck. On the morning that I took Carter to the airport. I said when we were leaving the room, and Brian Tucci's leaving his room at the same time to go down into the lobby and get breakfast. And he stops us in the hall, and he goes, "Oh, hey guys, it's really great to meet y'all this weekend. Hope we can see each other again." Me, Carter looked to the left. I looked to the right. There was no one else on the floor, so he had to been talking to us. And we kind of look at each other and go, "Ah, it was nice to meet you too. We're going to talk about this for the rest of our lives."
I'm sorry. Chris fangirling over characters will never get old because the expressions, the audio cues that he does is just
every time.
it's so funny. Not sponsored, by the way, people. We're not sponsored.
Yeah. But
Yes.
it's the choice of a new generation.
That sounds.
And that's how we get there.
But yeah, we were right across the hall from Brian Tucci the whole weekend. It was fucking great. Phenomenal. There was a broken elevator. Now here's what's really funny about all of this. Okay, there was a broken elevator. Day we get there, this elevator, we didn't know it was broken because it wasn't roped off. Nothing saying it was broken on any of the floors. It just didn't open. But the elevator kept going between lobby 6 and 5. Okay, that's all the numbers that would display above it, but it actually was not moving. It was just malfunctioning. So I'd made the assumption, well, if it's going between lobby 6 and 5, I guarantee you all the celebrities on floors 6 and 5. And they're the only ones that get to use this elevator. Maybe there's like a passcode or something for the elevator. I don't know. I was wrong. Very wrong, because all the celebrities were throughout the hotel. One of the other stories of us getting to ride down the elevator, this was Sunday night. Me and Hannah, the kids were coming back from the pool. We went to the pool a lot because the kids would swim and then pass the fuck out, which means me and Hannah got good sleep. So we went to the pool a lot. However, we're coming back from the pool, and there was a guy working out in the workout center, which is right next to the pool. He finished about the same time we're leaving the pool. He comes to get on the elevator with us, and very distinguishable skunk beard, right? You know, black on both sides and then white in the middle. Very distinguishable skunk beard, Atlanta Braves shirt on, a hat, and some sunglasses. It is 11 o'clock at night. We get off we get on the elevator with him, and I ask him, "What floor for you, sir?" And he goes, "Oh, floor 9." I plug in 9. He gets off on floor 9. As soon as he gets off, the elevator gets back underway. Hannah goes, "I think that's the wrestler that's supposed to be here." And I'm like, "What makes you say that?" And she goes, "Who the fuck wears sunglasses and a hat at 11 o'clock at night?" I was like, I mean, fair enough point. We're indoors. I mean, yeah, I get you. He didn't say nothing. He just kind of kept to himself other than answering what floor he had to go to. I'm not a WWE guy. Okay, the wrestlers I know are John Cena, Undertaker, Vader, and Triple H. And one of those guys is dead. Vader. Okay, and the only reason I know Vader is because I watched Boy Meets World growing up, which we're going to circle back to in just a second. So we get to the floor, or no, that was Saturday. We get to the floor Sunday, and sure enough, it was Scott Steiner, the WWE wrestler. thought that was pretty cool. Getting to ride the elevator with WWE royalty. I mean, I don't know a lot about WWE, but I definitely have heard the name Scott Steiner growing up. I know who Scott Steiner is. Just wasn't a fan, personally. Like I said, I had my favorites. And he just wasn't one of them. Now, had it been Ric Flair in that elevator, trust and believe, I would have been fangirling like a motherfucker. I would have just been like, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Talking to Hannah, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? And if you don't know what I'm talking about with Ric Flair asking what I could do in that elevator, go, just look up Ric Flair, do it. Okay, that's all you got to look up, and you're going to hear. Okay, because that's his signature thing. It's the woo. It's the nature boy woo. Okay, I've wanted to do that with Ric Flair my whole fucking life. Right? But no, it wasn't. It was Scott Steiner. Cool. I got to ride the elevator with him. He's an Atlanta Braves fan. That sucks, but cool. Back to WWE. Back to Boy Meets World, though. One of my favorite shows growing up. Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World teaches you everything you need to know about life. It is a phenomenal show, and it still holds up. It came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it followed a kid from the time he was 10 years old all the way up until I think they were 23 when they got done filming. Corey, Sean, Topanga, the main three. Well, in elementary school, Corey and Sean had a bully. Going into early high school years, the bully would follow as well. Harley Kiner would be that bully. Harley Kiner, though, had two lackeys. One little stream beam motherfucker and one big old dude. And that big old dude would later would be Vader's son on the show. He wasn't actually Vader's son, but they would play father and son on the show. He would play Little Vader. He would then later, in the early 2000s, go on to play Randy on My Name is Earl. And after playing Randy, he'd play a few more roles, and noticeably, he lost a lot of weight. He got in really good shape. And his fitness journey has been one I've been looking at and cataloging what worked for him to kind of figure out how I'm going to go through my own fitness journey. Getting to meet Ethan Suplee was a lot of fun. A very genuine soul, very nice, soft-spoken, honestly. And I loved My Name is Earl, another show that teaches you a lot about life without you actually really learning anything, because you're learning without learning. You're realizing, be a good person without realizing you're being taught to be a good person. Jason Lee, who played Earl on that show, they were sitting right next to each other, and I got this badass little fucking autograph thing by the both of them. And the coolest part about it is Ethan Suplee signs up here, then he writes something down here, and I didn't realize what he wrote until after we got Jason Lee's signature. Randy was here. If you've seen the show, you know that throughout the entirety of the show, every time Randy was at a place more than 5 minutes, he would start scratching into something. Randy was here. And so to have that on this is so fucking awesome. Getting to tell him that I'd seen him in Boy Meets World, getting to tell him that I had gotten to grow up with him, talking about My Name is Earl, talking about some of the other shows he was on, talking about his fitness journey. It was really awesome to see him, the way that he responded to it. His eyes lit up when I said, I'm trying to go on my own fitness journey and I'm kind of basing off of what you did. And he was just like, dude, you just got to get in there and do it. Just get in there and do it. You're going to do great. I know it. And again, having the week that I'd had already, that cut deep. And I don't think he realized how much I needed to hear that. And then we met Jason Lee for the second time. The first time I met Jason Lee was a couple years ago at Fan Expo Dallas, and I had gotten a signature from my dad for Father's Day. Because my dad was the one that watched My Name is Earl and introduced me to it. So I'd got him an Earl poster because it was just Jason Lee at the time. Now, for those of you that haven't watched My Name is Earl, but you're thinking, I know Jason Lee, Syndrome from The Incredibles, and Dave from Alvin and the Chipmunks, the live action ones from the early 2000s. Always a fun person to meet. I've known Jason Lee since before My Name is Earl. I know him from Clerks, from Dogma, from Clerks 2, Clerks 3, pretty much all of Kevin Smith's works. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I've always seen Jason Lee as well, and getting to talk to him about that was really fun. Getting to meet him for myself was a lot of fun versus getting to meet him for my dad. You know, it was like a 1-2, like, yeah, my dad was a fan of the show. Also, I loved you in Clerks. You know, that's what it was. FedEx. But now it's not to say that, you know, he made it short. I cut it short because I had other people to get that day. I was on a time crunch. This time I wasn't. And I got to spend 5 minutes with him. And those 5 minutes were really great. Talking about all the projects that he's been on. One of my favorites still being Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Probably one of my favorite roles of his. He's absolutely fucking hilariously goofy in that role. Yeah. And then comes another one, another fun one that we got to meet. Some Star Wars actors signed on at the very last minute. So luckily I was able to have enough left over for one of their autographs. I couldn't get the other one, which kind of sucked because the two Star Wars actors that have signed on were the lady that has taken over inside the droids of R2-D2 and R5. R5 in The Mandalorian and R2-D2 in the Book of Boba Fett. And then the other Star Wars actress that signed on at the last minute was Amy Allen. Now, if you don't know the name, like I didn't know who she was, Amy Allen is the ever so gorgeous, ever so awesome, ever so badass Ayla Secura. Yeah, the 12th Jedi that every guy had a crush on in the early 2000s. And if you're going to sit here and tell me that I'm wrong, I dare you.
I mean, you're wrong. It wasn't just guys. It wasn't just guys.
I know, but I'm just saying. Just about everybody had a crush on that 12th. Okay. Did not get to get her autograph, but still was able to talk to her. She was very nice, very loving. Did not know she's Australian. So that was a thrill.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. The accent was there, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I need a second. I didn't expect you to be Australian. I'm sorry, that's cool though. Like, awesome. I that's badass. But meeting R2-D2 and R5. I am a Star Wars nerd through and through. R2-D2 is the best droid. And if you're going to tell me I'm wrong, fuck you. Okay, BB-8 can suck my dick, and C-3PO isn't shit without R2. Why do you think they're always together? All right? Fucking check yourself before you wreck yourself. R2 is the best. The only droid that is better than R2 is KT. The droid R2-KT. Because that droid, if you don't know that story, look it up. I guarantee you'll cry. And that's the only droid I'll accept that's better than R2, and it's only because of the backstory. But it's the pink astromech in Force Awakens. For those of you wondering. R2-D2 is the best droid. I've always been an R2 fan. I always wanted to meet the original R2-D2, but unfortunately he passed away in 2015. And this was before I found out about con culture. This was literally a year before I found out about con culture and conventions. So I didn't get to meet him, unfortunately. But the only other droid I really like that's an astromech is R5, and that is because I cosplay Wedge Annalise. And in Empire, and in A New Hope, and in Return, R5 is the droid that flies with Wedge Annalise canonically. This has been written. Look it up on Wikipedia. Okay,
Wikipedia?
Wikipedia. It's the Star Wars fans' canonic go-to site.
I didn't hear Wookiee. I heard Wikipedia, and I was like,
Oh no, Wikipedia. Wikipedia.
what?
Getting to meet both R5 and R2D2 at the same time is a dream come true. And she is absolutely phenomenal. I had this one addressed to both me and my daughter because my daughter is now starting to get into Star Wars, and her favorite droid is R2D2. Every time we see the 501st at an event and R2's rolling around, she can't wait to get out of our arms to go hug R2D2. And I've got a fun story about that as well. But yeah, so getting to meet her was really cool. And so, yeah. Two of the most badass droids in the galaxy in one person. Her booth should have been more busier than it was, honestly. Both her and Amy Allen should have been busier than they were, but that's okay. I'm sure she gets the love somewhere because she deserves it. Such a genuine person. And Scott Ines. We're going to get to Scott Ines. We did not get a signature this time. We've met him 4 times before. Scott is on a first name basis with us. He sees us a lot. Scott Ines, if you don't know, is Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo, and Shaggy in several Scooby-Doo projects. We first met him for my wife, who is a massive Scooby-Doo fan. Then we met him for our daughter, who started getting into Scooby-Doo, and now we just go say hi just to say hi because he's remembered us at this point, and it's really cool. Get to say that I'm on a first name basis with a guy who has voiced my childhood is honestly one of the coolest fucking things I've ever been able to say. And when we got there, we saw him on Sunday, and Sunday, of course, was playing the bard, had the guitar, and he goes, "Oh, like, hey man, you know any fucking Scooby-Doo songs?" And so I played "What's New Scooby-Doo" right there. In front of his booth, which then attracted a lot of people to come say hi and realize, oh shit, Scooby-Doo's here. So he got a lot of business after that, which he kind of like Chris did a little thumbs up, thanks for the business kind of thing. That was a lot of fun. Then of course meeting the 4 turtles. Now a month ago at Retro Expo, I had met Ernie Reyes Jr., who played the original Donatello in those in the 1990s films, live action films. And I have this really cool poster. I'd grab it, but it's hung up. Well, it's been packed away already, as we are starting to pack currently. But I got this at Fan Expo Dallas a few years before. There's this guy that makes art of parody comic posters, right? Like the cover of a comic strip, of a comic book, but it's just the cover. He doesn't make the comic books, unfortunately. It'd be cool if he did. But either way, this one is called Hybrid Mutant, Middle-Aged Hybrid Accountant Tortoise. Okay, it's a play on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and I showed this to Ernie a month ago, and he almost fell out of his chair laughing at the parody of the Ninja Turtles on there. It also says Revenge of the Shredder, and it's got a little shredding machine as he's trying to put the paper in the shredder, and it's not going right. It's hilarious. You've got a calendar in behind him that says April. It's a phenomenal little thing. I love this poster. I've been laughing at it for a long time, ready to get their signatures on it. I showed it to the rest of the Turtles. I showed it to Robbie Risk, Ken Scott, Brian Tucci, and Francis Chow, who are Michael, Raphael, Leonardo, and Shredder, respectively. Every single one of them thought it was absolutely hilarious. Ken Scott and Brian Tucci both asked, where can I read the comic? And I had to tell them, unfortunately, it's not a real comic. It's just the cover art for a parody comic. And so I was tasked by them to find the guy who'd made the comic, the cover, the art for it. So I followed the guy on Instagram, so I found him very easily and showed them. And they both almost immediately gave him a follow, and I think they had requested their own. of that, which I think is really cool. So yay for the artist, because like fuck yeah. I mean, who else can say they got a DM from two Ninja Turtles to get a parody art thing that you've done about the Ninja Turtles? You know.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, Robbie Wrist was awesome. Meeting Robbie Wrist was like getting to meet Michelangelo. Okay, Mikey will always be my favorite fucking turtle. Okay, well look, you can tell me that's a basic bitch answer all you want. Fuck you,
No,
there's a reason Mikey's the best, right?
I would think basic bitch would be like Leonardo, because like I think everybody likes
fair, yeah. But I love Mikey.
favorite Donatello.
I've always loved Mikey, and beating Robbie Wrist was like getting to meet Michelangelo. And on that same note, getting to meet Ken Scott, you're meeting Raphael, but you're meeting Raphael uncensored. Okay, Raphael in the movies is very censored, right? Like you know, the most he says is "damn." Ken Scott is Raphael, and it's fucking hilarious. Ken and Brian had megaphones that they were going back and forth, talking shit to each other, you know, shouting out, "Hey, this guy's a fan of Raphael. See, I told you I'm the best turtle," and it was fucking hilarious. He had Ken had a red one, Brian had a purple one. It was fucking great. Fucking great to hear those two back and forth the entire con. And then meeting Brian Tucci. Again, we were right across the hall from him. Carter got in an elevator ride with him twice. Lucky bitch. I did not know this, but Brian is also a Star Trek actor. He's a background guy in both series that he's a part of, but in the original series, he played a child on the bridge of the Enterprise in an episode. And he would later come back to play a nameless ensign on the bridge of the Enterprise D in Next Generation, piloting the starship. He was an unnamed helmsman in Next Generation for a few episodes. And so we get in line and I start talking about Star Trek and stuff like that and how much it's meant to me, along with the Ninja Turtles. Each of these guys, I loved GeekCon in Shreveport because they give you the time. Like, everyone is very respectful of, we all want time to talk. So you're going to get about 5 to 10 minutes per person, per celebrity, per everyone in their line. All the fans, they're going to get, you know, you might be in line for 20 minutes, but it's worth it because that means everyone in front of you got their time and now you're about to get yours and you're going to get it. And it's amazing. And I was telling him, like, yeah, I love Star Trek. You know, I've loved it. And he goes, you know, I'm one of 3 people still alive, that were on both the original series and Next Generation. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then I told him, yeah, me and my buddy Carter here and our other buddy John, who couldn't be here with us, we run a Star Trek podcast called Two Captains, One Pod. And the guy behind us was like, hey, I've been recommended by a friend of mine. And I turned around, I was like, wow, that's awesome. Like, you know,
that's crazy.
Me and John have been doing this podcast for almost, I mean, this January coming up will be a full year. You know, we started in January this year. We've been doing it a long time, 8 months. And, you know, we always, yeah, I know, crazy to think about. You know, we've really wanted to get in and reach an audience, reach the Trekkies, because the way we're doing it. And so this guy starts telling, you know, and Brian's like, oh, I'm very interested in this. And I started, you know, like, yeah. He goes, you know, do y'all go by episode or like how do y'all do it? And I was like, well, we go by series and by season. We break it down, kind of do a general overview right now just to get through the series and the movies. And then we're probably going to go back and break down episodes and stuff like that and just talk about, I mean, just everything Star Trek in general. And I was like, honestly, I'm kind of doing a shameless plug here because the last time I met a Star Trek actor at a convention, she followed the podcast immediately. And he goes, okay, who was that? I go, well, it was Olivia Hack. And he goes, Olivia Hack? Who was she in Star Trek? And I go, she was one of Picard's kids in the Nexus sequence for Generation. She goes, oh, cool. That's awesome. And she followed the podcast. I was like, yeah. He goes, well, what's the podcast? Just in case I do want to look it up and listen. I said, well, it's on Spotify, and this is what it looks like. And I showed him the podcast on Spotify. And the guy in line behind us, after he met me, after he got to talk to me and Carter about it, he went ahead and followed as well. And, but it's just really cool meeting him and getting that interaction with a Star Trek actor, because again, Star Trek to me it's helped me a lot, and it is my hope and vision for the future. You know, one I share with Gene Roddenberry that, hey, one day all of this is going to be for naught. All of this bullshit is going to be for naught. This is not going to exist. There's not going to be hatred. There's not going to be racism. We're just going to exist as a human race, as a human species. We're just going to exist in peace, more or less, with each other. And I love that. I love that vision. It's brought me a lot of hope through the years, especially now with how bad things are, especially now throughout the world, not just in my country that I live in, which that's not great either. But, you know, it was really cool getting to meet him. And now we're at the last guy I can remember getting an autograph from this weekend. Andy Black, aka Andy Biersack, aka the frontman for Black Veil Brides. We were waiting in line for 20 minutes. I'm dressed as the Bard that day, and I brought my guitar case down to get signed, because I didn't want the guitar getting signed, because the guitar was my uncle's guitar, and my uncle taught me how to play, and he gifted that guitar for me for my graduation present, but unfortunately passed away a few months later due to cancer. So that guitar, I'm very, very anal about who gets to touch that guitar and who gets to handle it and stuff. But he did want to take a look at it, and I did show him the guitar, and he goes, oh, Takami, that's awesome. I love these guitars. They're great. They have a great sound to them. But he grabbed my guitar case, and he goes, so where do you want me to sign it? I was like, I'm good with anywhere you want. And he goes, what color you want it in? And I was like, I personally don't care. Your favorite color. He goes, well, Ibanez here is written on the case in white, so I'll go in white as well. So I got the little AB, the signature on the case in white. It's fucking awesome. Ray, if you want to see it, it's on Instagram and TikTok.
You didn't call me.
I didn't think about, like I said, it was a hard week. Okay, I wasn't thinking about a lot of shit.
Oh, but oh my god, you would have. I can't. You had your Star Trek, you had your whole shebang. For me, like I've gone through some hardships in my life. Black Veil Brides, Andy Black, the whole shebang. They helped me through a lot, and I'm so envious now. Oh my god.
I would like to say most rock stars are seen.
Andy's such a sweetheart.
Most rock stars are seen as one thing. You know, there's a perceived notion about who rock stars are, what kind of people they are, and that's been set in stone, forged through Ozzy Osbourne, forged through Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx, Tommy Lee, fucking James Hetfield. You know, those guys when they were younger weren't exactly the most courteous fucking people.
No.
And if you're wondering, well, rock stars aren't like that now. I present to you, what's his name? Following in Reverse, frontman.
Ronnie Radke? Yeah.
Ronnie Radke. I present to you Ronnie Radke.
He's
Guys like that.
I can't.
They're
I
still
used to
they're still
listen to his stuff when he was young, like when I was younger. But a lot of the controversies he's in right now.
At the same time.
However,
Yeah,
Andy Black.
he's so sweet.
It takes one Google search. It takes one Google search to realize that Andy Black, while being a rock star, while portraying a fuckhead on stage, is one of the most humble, genuine, down-to-earth people. 90% of his proceeds are donated to charities more often than not. He has started a few charities himself. He has started a lot of donation groups. I'm pretty sure he's even got a few scholarship programs out there.
Yep.
One Google search and you will fall in love with this guy. Okay. Meeting him in person, though, was amazing. A real quick handshake. A real quick, dude, your music has gotten me through a lot. I first met you guys listening to Knives and Pins when I was in middle school.
Oh my
friend
God.
showed me. Yeah. My friend showed me this badass guitar riff that started out this song. And ever since then, I've been listening. I've listened to your solo stuff. I've listened to almost everything you've put out. I even listened to a few of the podcasts that you've been on just to get to know you a little more because I love who you are as a person.
Okay, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but like, have you listened to the Andy Show, his podcast, the Andy Show?
Yeah.
So I was back in like high school, and I think I was in college actually. I followed their Patreon, and when you have a certain tier on their Patreon, you get like an episode dedicated to you, and they come up with like this makeshift backstory. I had one of those, and I just died. I was like, oh my God. But no,
Dude,
he's such a sweetheart. I think I have his comic book, The Ghost of Ohio. I think I have it somewhere, but like, I'm so envious. Oh!
After telling him all that, he looks at me and he goes, dude, I thank you so much for being a supporter, for being a fan. Your support means a lot. We make the music for you. And that was enough to like make me start crying right there. I was like, damn it, I'm done. It was great. He'd also ask, he goes, so your guitar, do you play or is it just, with your costume? I go, no, I've been playing for about 14 years. My uncle taught me. This is actually his guitar. And he passed away shortly after teaching me, but I've kept going with it. He goes, that's great, dude. You always got to keep going. I bet your uncle will be proud. And that was it for me. like automatically, I was already fucking tearing up. He said those words, and I was done at that point in time. Like, but he did ask me, you haven't talked to me guitar. Why not in this case? I was like, well, this case actually goes to my other guitar, which unfortunately needs some work done to it before it can be played again. So I got to get that done. So it's my only hard case that I have. So I didn't want anything happening to this guitar. So I brought it in the hard case. And he goes, well, that's a good thing. That's great. But yeah, keep it up, man. I'm really proud of you. I know your uncle is too. And you have a great day. And that was my interaction with Andy Black, and just a genuine person. It was really cool.
He's so cool. I love him. Oh my God.
His tattoos up close though are fucking badass. Like you see those tattoos on stage from afar, but oh my God, in person, he's got a bat symbol. I think that's like on his left arm, about right here.
Yeah.
And dude, that bat symbol, fucking the yellow, and it pops in person.
Mm-hmm. He has
awesome.
He has that like zombified Batman too.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I had to save him for last. I mean, honestly, like, started with John Wesley Shipp just like I did at the convention, and Andy Black was the last signature I got that weekend, so I had to finish with him. But he was just awesome. like I said, if y'all ever get the chance to come to Shreveport, Louisiana, and to go to GeekCon, I say do it. It's a phenomenal convention. It's very small compared to some of the others around. Like I mean, I'm used to Fan Expo Dallas, which Fan Expo Dallas is like maybe an eighth of the size of San Diego, New York, but it's still a very big convention. You're talking at least 55,000 or 5,500 people every weekend that Fan Expo's in town. And this one was maybe 2,500 at its most, you know, and that's stretching it. That's really stretching it. Very small convention, but it's growing. I mean, it is growing. It's only been around for 10 years.
Chris, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
2010, right? Knives and Pens, if I remember correctly. 2010.
Mhm.
I was 9. I was 9 when I discovered these guys.
I was 13. 13 years old.
A 9-year-old
Yeah.
shouldn't be listening to that music.
Yeah. But no, you know, it's really great. And then, like I said, playing the Bard was a lot of fun this weekend.
Mhm.
I you know, rehearsed a lot of songs for it to pull it off properly. And but the one that kept coming up in my mind, because again, my mind was fried after the events of the week. Secret Tunnel became the only song that I was able to play.
Oh no.
Well, Secret Tunnel, and then the D&D song that I'd wrote, the parody of Basket Case, by Green Day. But I kept looking around for an Avatar: The Last Airbender cosplayer, because you know there's always one. There's always at least one. And finally on Sunday, you know, towards the end of the convention, I found one. She was dressed as Ty Lee, and she'd asked if she could record it and put it on her Instagram. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And so she recorded me singing Secret Tunnel, and put it on her Instagram, tagged me in it. I got to put it on my Instagram. It was a really fun time, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. But my favorite moment playing Secret Tunnel was, if you don't know how it starts off with the words, "Two lovers forbidden from one another." Okay, that is the first line of the song. One of my wife's friends, one of my dear friends, portrays Padme for the 501st, for this region of the 501st. She's walking around with an Anakin cosplayer for the 501st, and so I was like, "Hey, when you guys get going again, can I, you know, play a song in behind you guys?" And both of them were like, "Yes." And Ashley, our friend, turns to me and goes, "Just don't embarrass me too much," because she knows me, you know. She knows me at this point in time, and so I was like, "I'm not gonna embarrass you. You're gonna laugh. I promise you." She goes, "Okay, I trust you." So finally, they get done talking with their friends, and they start walking throughout the convention as the 501st does. And I get in behind them, and I go, "Two lovers, forbidden from one another." And immediately, the American cosplayer doubles over and just starts laughing. Ashley throws her head back and goes, "Oh my God." Everyone around me realizes why I'm doing that, and they start laughing. It was a great fucking moment.
You're horrible.
Yeah, but tell me you wouldn't do the same.
True. True. So you don't have to answer, but for the people listening or watching at home, how much rough estimate, how much did you spend getting all these signatures?
$600, $700. But I mean, that was signatures. That was stuff from the convention, like my new flash ring that I've got.
Yeah.
A couple other things. I mean, we'd saved up about $700, and I spent almost every dime of it at the convention.
So moral of the
More or
story,
less.
folks at home, save your money if you want to go to a convention, because stuff is
Mhm.
expensive. Oh, my accent came out there.
But so I mean, one of the reasons I love GeekCon is they're really good about keeping their prices low. Just
Yeah.
about everybody there was about $60 for their autograph. It was between like $40 to $60. You know, like if you wanted a combo, like a picture at the photo plus their autograph, like maybe 80 to 90.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, but I love GeekCon for that reason. It's great.
That's
Very
fair.
very inexpensive, honestly. But worth it nonetheless. Worth it nonetheless.
Yeah.
It's just it can get expensive. Yeah, for those of you that don't know con culture, it can get expensive, but it doesn't matter the price at the end of the day. At the end of the convention, it's worth it every fucking time because you're making a memory that you're gonna look back for the rest of your fucking life. You're meeting. You might get the chance to meet one of your favorite celebrities that you've always admired from afar, and now you're up close personal with them, getting to shake their hand, maybe a hug, get their autograph, or maybe even a photo op with them. And they're great. It's each there have only been a couple cons where I've gone to where a celebrity that was brought in was just not really. They were there for the money, and you could tell. Evidence of that, Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase has always been that way. I mean, he might have been one of the greatest guys in comedy in the 80s and 90s, but he's a dick. And it's very clear. But, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a great fucking time, Um,
And like, well, like, sorry. Continue.
no, I was just going to say, one of the things, for those of you that have never been, if you're looking to go to your first one, find someone like me there. Someone that is going to be just all around fucking goofy just for the hell of it. Because if you hang around with them for your first time at a convention, you're not going to have a dull moment. You're going to have a really great time. When I meet people at conventions and I get told that it's their first time, I'm going to show them the ropes. I'm going to show them the fun stuff. I'm going to take them around to like booths, and then I'm going to point out, okay, who are you here for? Okay, if you have extra money, go hit this celebrity up because you're definitely going to want to meet them. Even if you don't know their works, trust me, you want to have a conversation with them. They're great, It's, I typically make it a good time for anybody, whether it's your first convention or it's like your 45th. I make it a good fucking time for everybody. One of the fun things I do, especially when I pull out my Mickey Mouse character, I have a full mascot suit. When I'm on the convention floor, it does not matter how hot and stuffy I am in that suit. If there's a kid around, that head does not come off.
Oh yeah.
And I do that not for Disney's Don't Break the Magic Rule, but for my own. I'm not fucking it up for a kid. I'm not letting this kid find out that I'm just a random guy in a suit. If they see me as Mickey Mouse and they want to meet Mickey Mouse, you are meeting Mickey Mouse because, hiya, pal. How you doing? I'm going to pull out the voice. I'm going to pull out all the stops to make that moment magical for that kid. Not for Disney, but for myself, because I don't want that kid going home thinking, well, fuck Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I want that kid going home like, I fucking love Mickey. I met Mickey. Fuck you. I met Mickey. You didn't.
Chris, I don't know if you remember, for those who are listening, I have 2 little boys. I don't know if you remember when you did your Mickey Mouse voice for my oldest. The little dude's reaction to that was,
oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My oldest just like dropped his toy, started looking around because I was on FaceTime with Chris. I was having a mom moment, like where all the moms that are possibly listening, like any parent, you have those moments where it's just like your kid, it's too much sometimes and you need another person there. And sure enough, Chris instantly knew right off the bat, Mickey Mouse. Just my little guy just stopped doing anything and ran to the phone. I lost my phone for like how long did I lose my phone for?
Think about maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I remember it was GeekCon last year. Bill Farmer was there. For those of you that don't know who Bill Farmer is, you know his voice. He's been the voice of Goofy for over 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, hi, pal. It's Goofy here. that's Bill Farmer. Okay. Anything that's ever been Goofy has been Bill Farmer's voice. There have been, I think, maybe one or two other Goofies other than Bill Farmer in the last 30 years. And they were hit or miss projects.
Mhm.
They weren't like the big shows. They weren't, a Goofy movie, an extremely Goofy movie, the Goofy show. That was all Bill Farmer. And I'm in line to meet Bill Farmer, and I'm dressed as Mickey Mouse, and there's this kid in front of us, and I'm getting real hot. Like, this was towards the end of the fucking day. I've been wearing the suit for almost all fucking day. I'm getting stuffy, and when I get hot, I don't do well. I start getting upset. I start getting mad because I don't like being hot.
Yeah.
I'm ready to just meet him and take this damn thing off, and I'm start looking around, and I don't see anybody. I don't see any kids, so I'm about to take the head off, and then that's when the kid comes up. He's a couple people in front of us. He's next up to meet Goofy with his parents. The guy in front of him is, getting his time. So he comes back, and I just feel a hug around my legs. And I'm thinking it's my daughter. So I go to, and I look down, and through the little mouth slot, I realize, oh, that's not my kid. So I bend down a little bit, and I give the kid a proper hug. And I go, oh, wow, hiya, pal. How you doing? It's so good to see you. And I just remember the joy on his face. I had a voice box in there to help project the voice. Because in that helmet, it doesn't project well. So I have the voice box to help it project. And Bill heard it. And the kids that Bill was talking to at the time, they heard it. And so everybody just kind of stopped and just looked at Mickey Mouse. And just they all had a great time with Mickey Mouse. And I was, when I got up to Bill, I had Hannah make sure nobody could see me take off the head because I wanted to talk to Bill Farmers myself, not Mickey. And I go, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation with him. He goes, I wouldn't have had it any other way. Anytime Mickey Mouse is in my line, you're more than welcome to steal the moment and the magic. And I was like, that's great. And then I got to do my Goofy voice for Bill, and he's like, that's awesome. Loved that. Bill Farmer is also the voice of Sylvester and Foghorn Leghorn in the original Space Jam movie from the 90s. From 96, I think, is when that film came out. So I had him sign my Sylvester Space Jam jersey on the back, on the number 9. He goes, I've never signed a jersey before, but this is cool. This must be what the sports stars feel like because he signed it. But, is
it said jersey you're wearing right now?
No, this is my Bugs Bunny one.
Ah.
Yeah. This is my working on cars shirt because this one's like 2 sizes too big, so I just use it to work on cars. But
okay, that makes sense.
No, I love being Mickey Mouse at cons because it never fails that the kids are just gonna fucking love it.
Yeah.
And especially when there's a Disney star at the convention, Disney cosplayers come out in droves. And so when Mickey Mouse is walking around, and since I'm technically the only Mickey Mouse in the area, there is one other one here in Dallas that does Mickey Mouse as well. I think there's a photo behind me of us together. Maybe not. No. But there's another guy that has a Mickey Mouse as well. And he'll go to Fan Expo Dallas. But in Shreveport, I'm the only one. And so, all the other Disney cosplayers are going around, and then they see Mickey Mouse, like, oh, we got to get a picture with the mouse. It's like, oh, the boss is here. One of my favorite things that I've ever done as Mickey Mouse is with the 501st. Ever since Disney bought Star Wars, I'd always go over there as Mickey Mouse and be like, oh shit, the boss is here. Quick, look busy. It's all out here on the other side of the suit. It's so fucking funny. I remember one time the 501st members asked me to join the little 501st march to the convention at Fan Expo Dallas, dressed as Mickey Mouse, and they had me standing in behind the Emperor. Because the way the 501st marches is like you have a lot of their stormtroopers, their clone troopers, the rebel guys, TIE fighter pilots. They're all up front because they're the faceless guys, the nameless guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you get into some of the Jedi, the other characters that people that are named and stuff like that. And then at the very back is Darth Vader, Palpatine.
Yeah.
Palpatine's the last one. And they were like, They're like, Mickey, you want to walk with us? I was like, sure. Where do you want me? And they're like, in behind Palpatine, since you're the most important Star Wars member here. And so they gave me a little lightsaber.
boss fight.
Walking through the con with the lightsaber, and it was just hilarious. I fucking loved it. I'll never forget that one. I was an unofficial 501st member that day.
Why did I just picture Mickey Mouse in like a Sith robe with a red lightsaber?
Trust me, I'm trying to pull it off. I'm trying to get Jedi robes.
Fun
That I
boss
can,
fight.
if I can get it right, because it's the neckline is what gets me. If I can get it right to fit with the head and not show any part of me, and it
Yeah.
just looks like Mickey in Jedi robes, I'm going to do it. But it's difficult trying to find the right Jedi robes and how to pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the stuff. I love getting to cosplay and go to conventions. You know, the second day we were all dressed as Star Trek people from the TOS movies era.
Yeah.
The Wrath of Khan era. We're all in the Monster Maroons, I'm in the Monster Maroon bomber jacket, Captain's bomber jacket. Hannah's in the excursion jacket, and Carter was in the Scotty's engineering vest uniform. And there were some Star Trek cosplayers, and they were like, "Oh, that's really cool," but they were like original series or the Kelvin timeline, or one of them was even dressed as the Next Generation, which was, of course, what Brian Tucci was. So, you know, because the convention, what was supposed to happen is Alan Ruck was supposed to be there. Alan Ruck, his most notable role is Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But Trekkies would know Alan Ruck as Captain John Harriman of the USS Enterprise B from Star Trek Generations. And also the captain that, quote-unquote, killed Kirk. So that's why we got in those uniforms, because we were supposed to meet Alan Ruck, but unfortunately he canceled a few months before, and that's also why John didn't go, is because not only did he not have the money for it, but also Alan Ruck canceling was like, I don't really want to go, which, again, I respect and understand. But you know, Brian Tucci being there saved the Star Trek cosplayers, and there was one other dude in a Star Trek Wrath of Khan era uniform. He was in the regular uniform, Monster Maroon, and he had the Admiral pin on there. And he saw Hannah first, and Hannah brings him over, and he goes, "Hey, can I get a picture with you guys?" I was like, "Oh, Admiral, sorry, was not expecting an inspection today, but yeah, sure, go ahead, anything for you, Admiral." Which is really cool. But I loved that uniform, because as hot as it fucking was, everybody was turning heads to make note of us in the uniforms together, and it was just really cool. Star Trek Las Vegas had happened a couple weeks ago, and looking at the photos from Star Trek Las Vegas from some of my friends that were able to go, and then on Instagram, the Las Vegas, the convention themselves posting the photos, I noticed everybody that was in the Wrath of Khan era uniforms, not a single there were 3 people in the excursion jackets. Not a single person was in the bomber jacket, and not a single person was in the engineering vest, which I thought was really cool, because me, Carter, John, and Hannah are planning to go to Star Trek Las Vegas next year for Star Trek's 60th anniversary. And
60 years already? Goddamn.
oh yeah. And so we're planning to wear the Monster Maroon uniforms there, and I'm like, this is gonna be fucking cool if I'm going to be the only one in the bomber jacket next year, and if Carter's gonna be the only one in the engineering vest next year, because when we get to Star Trek Las Vegas, hopefully 2 captains is big by then, big enough to be recognized at the convention. But even if not, I know I'm going to be pressed for photos then, because I've got the only bomber jacket. And I know Carter will be pressed for photos then, because he'll be the only engineer vest. So, if we're the only ones, fuck yeah. Because I've got the best uniform personally. I mean, we were talking to some of the Star Trek cosplayers and even Brian while in his line, and just talking about the uniforms
You're
and
vibrating.
how, huh?
Said you're vibrating. There you go.
Oh, sorry, my leg's tapping. We're just talking about how the Wrath of Khan era uniforms are my favorite. I love the Munster Maroons personally. They're my favorite uniform ever. They're fucking gorgeous. They're the how uniform they look, but also how different they are. How personal they are, even though they're very uniformed because of all the different colors for each variation, the different turtlenecks, the different stripes over the right shoulder and everything. I mean, different different ranks wear different uniforms. Some people will wear, engineers get their own style uniform. You know, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful that it looks, when you look at all the uniforms that are out in the era, you're like, this looks like a mess. How can you tell who's who? But then again, as a Trekkie, or just watching the movies, you're very quick to realize, oh, okay, so that's how you tell who's who. That's cool. That's cool. It's so different yet so similar, and I just love them. I do. I can go on and on about those uniforms personally.
Definitely the costume department for those, like for Star Trek, had a heyday. Like the little
Oh yeah.
details and stuff. Oh my gosh, love it.
That and then the ranks just look so cool in that era. The ranking pins just phenomenal, because when you go to the original series, you've got stripes and bars on the wrist, and that's how you tell the different ranks. When you get to the Next Generation and beyond, D Space Nine, Voyager, and then Enterprise, even though they're before the original series, and Discovery, even though it's before the original series, they have pips. Now, Next Generation, D Space Nine, and Voyager all had their pips on the collar. Enterprise had their pips right down here on top of the breast, and Discovery, the pips were on the badge. But they all had pips.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the Wrath of Khan era, you have little triangles, you have bars, you have circles, you have, it just progresses and it just gets fucking ridiculously awesome. Like, it's hard to tell, from an outside perspective, not knowing anything about Star Trek, you're like, what rank is that? But once you get into it and you learn, it's very easy to tell who's who, because those ranks, they're not small. They're pretty decent sized ranks, because you have your stripe that goes from about here all the way to your back, and the rank is about that big, about 2 inches of that bar. And then you've got the one that goes down here on the sleeve. And so it's very easy to tell what rank someone is once you know the ranks, and it's just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Like I said, it's not difficult to tell ranks on the other shows. I mean, again, the pips and stripes and bars are very easy to learn from the original series and all the other shows. But it's just so cool, the different classes and stuff like that. I just fucking love it.
I think for that series, I believe, if my research was right, I think they took inspo. I might be wrong here. From, I don't know if you know, like war veterans and stuff, like their pins and all that jazz that they get and stuff. I feel like that's like when I'm looking at like the similarities between them, I feel like they took a lot of inspo from some of those like emblems, those pins, those medals and stuff that those people would get, which for me was really cool, because they're taking something that's actually real life, fictionizing it, and kind of it's really cool.
But oh my god, it was.
I just love costumes.
John, you should have been there. You should have been there this weekend. It was great, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I wish I was there.
I know you should have been too. Where your invite got lost in the mail between here and Canada. So
Apparently, I'll just blame the orange one.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, I'm just. But yeah, reeling, reeling from this con has been a difficult thing, though. In all honesty, like I said, with as much fun as I did have, and the memories that I did make, like I said, coming back here was just, it was hell. I remember I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before we left, just thinking about, what was going to happen when I got back here, and dreading the drive and all that. But second.
So, John, hello.
I'm still here.
Hey, you just been really quiet. What's your favorite Star Trek uniform?
Probably the same one. Probably the good old monster.
Yeah.
I was about to say, as far as Star Trek uniforms go, in my opinion, just don't get better.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that one. I'm very much a costume design and development person. Like, I think I said that when we did our Superman episode, is I study costume design and all that jazz. And so seeing all the changes in the Star Trek series of the costumes and stuff was just really cool. I loved seeing like the little slight changes that not a lot of people notice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I was gonna say, do we wanna wrap this episode up?
Sorry, kids are being kids right now.
That's cool.
So, yeah. Ray, what do you know about Star Trek?
Oh, I know a lot.
Okay.
I've been watching it for a while. Like I said, I grew up on Star Trek. I grew up on Star Wars. I grew up on like a
Yeah.
whole lot of old movies.
Yeah.
So.
If you were to come to a con with us, I would refer to you to Retro Expo, which is one I was talking about earlier, the one that happened last month. The reason I love Retro Expo is because it's in the name. They're gonna bring in the stars that don't really go to conventions anymore because their shows aren't around anymore. We've gotten to meet Mr. Feeney. We got to meet Mr. Feeney at Retro Expo. We've gotten to meet a lot of the old school stars at Retro Expo. They had Sigourney Weaver at one. They had the guy that played the $6 Million Man at one. They had the Bionic Woman. They bring in a lot of their older stars and stuff like that. It's great. I love Retro Expo. But also with Retro Expo, I have learned that my shit is now, technically in the retro era because, it's over 20 years old and it hurts to say. Like, I already know that like a Walkman CD player is in a museum. I already know that the original flip phone is in a museum. Okay, most of the stuff that I grew up with, a floppy disk, is in a museum. The boom boxes, but to say that my stars are now turning into retro, that fucking pisses me off. Because it's like, fuck you, I'm not that old. All right, I'm not even 30 yet. Suck my dick. All right. But
filter, we're gonna get canceled by YouTube.
We've said worse
fuck
shit.
you too.
In
True. I watch y'all's Two Captain One Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the podcast
said a
name is.
lot.
Yeah. But no, it's fun. It's fun to be there though. Because we've gotten a lot of the toy vendors come out for retro as well. And so you get to see some of the old toys that we used to grow up with, right? Like I saw one. I don't know if y'all remember, but Teen Titans, the show, when it first came out,
Mhm.
they
Okay,
had a
which
toy line.
version? Which
The original
version?
version. The
Okay.
original, not Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go. The
Okay.
original Teen.
Good stuff.
They had toys that came out, right? And I had Slade, and my buddy across the street had Cyborg and had Cyborg's car. I don't know if y'all remember Cyborg's
What
car.
if Raven?
I remember
What if
Cyborg's
Raven's so
car.
bad?
But I was at Retro this past month, and Cyborg's car, this toy vendor had Cyborg's car brand new in package.
Whoa.
He had not only Cyborg's car, but he had Cyborg that came with it, and then he had the pack of Robin and Slade and Raven and Starfire. So he had all of them. Oh, and Beast Boy. He had
Forget
all
about
of them.
Beast Boy.
All right, how could I? But yeah, he had them all. If I had $130, oh, I'd have them. I'd have them right now. God, I wanted that, because even when I was a kid, I wanted that fucking car, but I was never able to find it at Walmart. You know,
Yeah.
it was never in stock because I mean the car was the most sought after one because the car was fucking cool. You know, you could fit the figures inside, and so you know, and it wasn't just one; you could fit two of them. You know, side by side in the car, you could have Beast Boy and Cyborg in the car, or Cyborg and whoever. And because I had Slade, it was my, you know, me and my buddy would always have Cyborg and Slade riding around in the car, and you know, I always wanted the fucking car. Never could get it.
Stole your friends.
And oh, dude, trust me, because knowing how much, because that dude had it marked down at the beginning of the convention, it was $300 for all of it.
No.
Because the
I
car
think you
alone.
stole your friend's car when you were a kid.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like I said, I should have. Because yeah, the car alone goes for $250.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I should have stolen his car, but you know, again, I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Listeners, don't steal things from vendors. Don't do that.
Oh God, no! Don't do that.
One thing I like about conventions is, like, especially if you go in a group or like there's cosplayers and stuff at conventions, you're always gonna find that one cosplayer with the kit. If something goes wrong with your cosplay, they're
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Conventions will even have repair. They'll have supply.
Yep.
Mhm.
My one convention group that I used to go with all the time to conventions, because I've been to a lot of conventions, I just don't talk about it often, because I'm not friends with that group anymore. So just
Yeah.
memories. I was that person. I was the cosplay mom, is what they'd call me, because I
Yeah.
had literally everything. I had everything to fix everybody's cosplays, the whole shebang.
Yeah, one of the fun things that I do is when I take Jurassic Park paramedic to a convention, I
Mhm.
take my medical bag with me. And now most of the time I take most of the medical shit out of the bag because I don't want to be walking into a convention with IVs and needles and shit like that. You know, I don't need to, you know, hopefully won't need it. But I'll fill the bag up with like 2 bags of Dum Dum stickers or suckers, you know, the little Dum Dums, and I'll fill the bag with 2 of them, and then I'll have a Band-Aid kit in there
Mhm.
that has like Neosporin and then all different sizes and types of Band-Aids. And I'm usually like, I've had people hit me up like, hey, do you actually have Band-Aids in there? I'm like, yeah, I got you. And then we'll, you know, fix them up and everything. And then at the end of it, I pull out a dum-dum for them. And they're like, it's the doctor's office. It's like, the one and only Jurassic Park paramedic. And it's fun to
love
see
that.
people's face when I do that. But yeah, I always typically do that. I know Hannah's been trying to put together a little sewing kit so she can start, you know, doing that stuff as well. And
Mhm.
but yeah, Shreveport had a room dedicated to it this time. Retro Expo's got a whole room. Every Retro Expo event has a room dedicated to cosplay repairs, and there's like 14 different people in there at any one given time, ready to, you know, whatever you may need. You know, you need glue, you're gonna go see you're gonna go see Dan. You need sewing, you're gonna go see Sharon. You need a little patch repair kit, you're gonna go see Dave. You know, like, I mean, I'm just pulling out random names, but you know, again, there's like 14 different people in there, and they're all ready to go. And it's, you know, those types of people at conventions are the fucking heroes, personally.
I will say one thing I cannot stand are certain cosplayers. I'm not going to say names, but I see this cosplayer all the time online. And we're like, they're in the character, but they do it too much. We're like, they're destroying property, they're attacking other cosplayers. If anybody that's on TikTok knows exactly who I'm talking about, I'm not going to say names, but they're known for their Zenitsu. That's all I'm going to say. There's Zenitsu. I hate people like that. Like, it's nice, you're in the character, but ask for consent first before you lunge at somebody that's dressed as Nezuko.
Yeah, that's why I like. There's this guy on TikTok that Deadpool versus the World is his series, where he goes to conventions, and you can tell, like he doesn't show him setting it up. He doesn't show him talking to the people, but you can very much tell that it was all talked about beforehand.
Yeah.
But you see is the video of him like popping out of somebody's dress and then them chasing him down, or like. With some of the cosplayers that are more developed, he'll get them moving in a way and he'll go, like that, and they do that or something. I love his stuff because it's very much Deadpool character, but you can very much tell by their reactions that it's all staged. And I've done that as Deadpool a few times. One of my favorite moments doing Deadpool at a convention, this was Fan Expo 2018, I think. I was dressed up as Deadpool, and there's this Harley Quinn dressed up as, the Suicide Squad Harley. And she had very nice ass sets. And so, I walk over to her and I was like, hey, can we do a Deadpool Harley video? She goes, or a picture. She goes, yeah, sure. And, we start planning it out. And she goes, ooh, kiss it. I'm like, let's do this. So, again, with the Deadpool mask on, like nothing's touching at all. And I'm like, even still like maybe like 2 inches from it. But I'm like right there. And the picture came out fucking hilarious. A lot of people also wanted to get a picture of Deadpool in that moment. And then we did another one of like her stepping on me. Which was great.
That.
I'm not a foot guy, so no.
Oh, really?
I'm not a foot person at all. Feet gross me the fuck out. No, thank you. I don't even like touching my own feet. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know the amount of step on me comments that I get from you or my wife gets from you.
Look.
Oh no, just
call me out like that.
You love me. But no, the cosplay community is just great. Like, I mean, there's some toxicity which has been more surfacing, but once you find that good side of the cosplay community, you meet really great people. I think, like, my wife and I, we met through cosplay. Like, I met Chris through cosplay. Like, it just brings people together. It's so cool. I love it.
I mean, honestly, one thing that, back when I was with Cosplay Confederation, another podcast that John is also on, we talked about how, cosplay is one of the greatest communities you could be a part of. And the best thing to do is throw on a cosplay and go find some people that you're going to fuck with. Go find some people that are going to, boost your confidence and, make you want to keep doing it, and make a bunch of memories. Make the, if you can find the right people with the same sense of humor, make those stupid posts, make those stupid pictures. Because again, it's funny as shit when it's all said and done with. I mean, you get the consent, you get everything that you need, and you have a picture of Deadpool kissing Harley's ass. You got a picture of Harley, stepping on Deadpool with a gun to his head. Shit's fucking hilarious. When it's all said and done, when it's done properly, you get some fun moments. Again, like that guy in the Admiral's uniform. Again, it was a very quick 1-2, made him laugh, made him smile. I wasn't expecting an inspection today, Admiral, but anything for you. Noticing that, his little drinking pen, it was like a real quick, I like this guy, made his day for a couple seconds. And like I said, it's at the end of the day, it's all about the memories that you're going to make and doing it the right way. Conventions are some of the best places to be, and unfortunately with our move though, I think it's going to be a while before we probably get to go to another one, but that's okay. Um, as long as we're safe.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'd rather be safe and not going to a convention than be going to a convention and coming back to an unsafe place. I can make memories later. Again, I'm not even 30. I've got plenty of time. My kids are 4 and 6 months old. They've got plenty of time. As much as I want to give them a life that, when they get to the end, and they're talking to their grandkids and their great grandkids, and they're laying there and going, I tell you about the time I met Mickey Mouse. I met him 42 times. I want to give my kids that kind of life. I want to give my kids the life that when they start talking about things, it's like, how the fuck did you get to do that? Because of my dad. My dad made it happen for me. Like I said, when I look back at my life previously, it was always like, I didn't have the best, but I had a roof, I had clothes, and I had food.
Yeah.
I had opportunities that other people don't.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to the beach. I got to go to the Houston Space Center. I got to go to these places. My parents took me to my first convention in 2016 for Star Trek's 50th anniversary tour. I got to, I have these moments, but it's also at the same time, I look back on it now and I'm like, you know what? It could have been a lot better. And in that respect, I'm trying to make that for my kids. I'm trying to make it a lot better for them, and when my kids get old enough to start realizing what they like and what they want to do, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Artemis loves just playing sports with me. She loves to play baseball. She loves to play hockey with me, but she also likes figure skating.
Ooh.
And if she wants to be a figure skater,
come see your godmommy.
Yeah.
We'll go figure skating, darling. I used to do competitive figure skating.
Yeah, if she wants to do that, I'm gonna find a way to make it happen. But when it comes to hockey, she wants to play goalie. And if she wants to be a goalie in hockey, I'm gonna make her a goalie in hockey. I'm gonna do whatever it takes
as long as she wears a Canucks jersey, we're good.
We'll see about that.
Whoa.
We'll see about that. Yeah.
I remember when we went live on TikTok during the Canucks and Dallas Stars match in I think 2023. I think that was one of our most viewed, not one of our most, but it was an intense live.
Oh yeah. You man. We should have done it this past year because the Canucks were fighting for. Yeah, I know, but the Canucks were fighting for a playoff spot, and we took them out of the playoff.
I know. I was so pissed. I almost messaged you, went, you little fuck.
But whatever it takes, and when Levy gets a little bit older and he starts getting to where he can tell me what he wants to do, I'm gonna make it fucking happen. Because I didn't play baseball until high school.
Yeah.
My dad hated baseball. And I get it, but he didn't. He kind of just kept me away from it. I still watched it. I still loved it. Growing up, but I didn't play until high school, and then I played a little bit, outside of high school, and went for a national tournament and won. But
got a flex that he won. Hold on, folks.
I hate football. I'm gonna be honest. Football sucks to me personally. I can't stand it. I mean, I like some football players. If I have to be a fan of football, I'm going to go for the Buffalo Bills. And the reason I'm going for the Buffalo Bills is 100% because of Josh Allen, right? I know enough about football that, when we get back to the normal podcast that this is supposed to be, me and Ben can talk sports because it's one of the things we want to do is bring sports into this as well. Me and Ben love talking sports.
Yeah. Well,
But again, if I gotta be a football fan, it's the Buffalo Bills because of Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen is such a genuine person outside of the sport that he could be the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's not, because Dak Prescott is still a thing. But he could be the worst quarterback in the NFL, and I'm still a Buffalo Bills fan, and I'm still a fan of him because it's not what you do on the field, it's what you do off the field. Personally for me, like Jake Ottinger, one of my favorite goalies in current hockey, right? Goalie for the Dallas Stars, phenomenal fucking goalie. I mean, that dude, if you get it past him, you worked your ass off to do it, right? Or he's fucking tired. Those are the only two ways you're getting anything past Jake Ottinger. That's why I love him on the Stars. It's why the very first Dallas Stars jersey I bought from this era was Jake Ottinger's. I fucking love Ottinger. Off the ice, he is one of the coolest fucking people out there. Matt Duchene, hell of a fucking defenseman, hell of a fucking forward. Love Matt Duchene. Fucking love him. Love what he does off the ice more. Jason Robertson, he's a great forward. I love watching him go up and down the ice. Stick handle like a motherfucker, and he's gonna get it in. It's just a matter of when, not if. Yeah. Right? Robertson's gonna get it in the back of your net. Love what he does off the ice.
I just want to clarify for people that aren't US or Canada or North America. When we're talking about football, we're talking about NFL,
American football, not
American
football. If I'm gonna talk about football, I'm gonna call it football because that's what it is. It's football, and I fucking love football. I really fucking do. Okay, say what you fucking will, but I'm a Liverpool fan through and through, and y'all can suck my fucking ass. All right, I fucking love Liverpool. All right, Liverpool FC is one of the best clubs.
I don't really pay attention to a lot of sports except for hockey. Yeah. Oh my god.
Such a Canadian thing to say. Such a Canadian thing to say.
I honestly, hockey, badminton, and volleyball are the only sports I watch. But hockey's the only competitive teams that I'll pick. Badminton, you don't see a lot of competitions for badminton or volleyball except for the Summer Olympics.
If you'd said lacrosse, I would have fucking. You're totally fucking Canadian. If you'd said lacrosse, I would have fucking.
I played lacrosse.
Fucking Christ. You are fucking Canadian.
I am Canadian. I don't sound it. Do you know how many times I've in Canada, people have walked up to me and they're like, "Where are you from? Your accent is so nice." And I'm like, "What?" I've been asked about Europe. It's what?
Personally, I can't wait to go to fucking Canada just so I can stop hiding my voice and give them all the old Southern charm voice and hit them with this and hell yeah. Where are you from? Out of Alberta.
That's how you get clocked. No, when? I think you're coming up to Canada for the wedding, huh?
Oh yeah.
I think that's the first time you're gonna be coming up. If I'm planning this right?
I mean, if I can come sooner, for sure. But I mean, if I have to wait till then, yeah. I mean, it's just gonna come down to when we can get settled in our new place and get money built up to be able to do that. But yeah, like I said, I can't wait to get up there just because one, I want to, while I'm up there, I want to catch a Canucks game in person. Personally, I really do. I want to catch a Canucks game in person.
You're wearing a jersey. We made a deal.
I know. I've got it in the cart. I just need to go ahead and hit the button on it when I get some funds. But it might be a little bit because of mine and Hannah's wedding do-over, or vow renewal. I don't know if I told you.
Where's the invite?
I sent it to your wife, and your wife said, "I'm not going to the States. Fuck that."
Wife. She's ignoring me. I mean, given what's going on in the States, I can understand.
If you guys can make it, there's a seat for you. I will tell you that. But
I hope so. I'd like to hold my god babies.
But no, when it the day before the wedding, me and Hannah and the bridesmaids and groomsmen are doing a first to five hockey game. Bride and bridesmaids versus groom and groomsmen. And so for the entire wedding party, I've asked them all to choose a hockey team, a number, and then let me know their sizes. So we can do kind of an all-star game type setup for the
So you're buying me a Canucks jersey?
I've already got to buy another one because Kai's getting a Canucks jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll go through the list real quick. Let me pull it up.
I love how we've diverted topic, but it is getting pretty late. It's almost 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we'll end it here soon. But yeah, let me see. Nope, those are hockey jerseys I want to get from the Dallas Stars. Here we go. So, John, funny enough, for the groomsmen, John chose Colorado Avalanche, number 17. Ben chose the Chicago Blackhawks, number 41.
Ew.
Carter chose the Pittsburgh Penguins, number 24. My buddy Donald chose the Anaheim Ducks, number 13. My buddy Hunter chose Anaheim Ducks, number 6. My brother-in-law Dylan chose the Dallas Stars, number 47.
Dylan's.
I chose, of course, Dallas Stars, number 7, or number 6. Because mine's already in. I've already got mine. It's sitting right here. And then Talia chose Philadelphia Flyers, number 23.
Of course Talia did.
Yeah. My sister Alex chose Tampa Bay Lightning, number 66.
Wait.
Sister? Well, okay, so to kind of explain Alex to you, Alex and me aren't actually related.
Okay. I was like really worried given what you told me. Okay, never mind. Continue with the list.
No, that would be a different sister anyways. Alex and my dad and her dad served together in the Navy. And our mom was pregnant at the same time. Matter of fact, Alex is 2 days younger than me.
So it's like sibling in arms almost.
We've known each other our entire lives. Her parents are my godparents. I know her parent. I was in her wedding. Just last year, or a couple years ago, and
really hyper.
Like I said, I've known her my whole life, and so she is my sister. By all means, we are pretty much the same person. Anyways, we call each other the twins, and we do look similar. But yeah, she chose Tampa Bay Lightning, number 66. My camera froze. Hold up.
Yeah, your camera did.
There we go. And then Hannah's friend Natalie chose Toronto Maple Leafs, number 17.
Ew.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Hannah chose the Stars, number 21. She's taken Jason Robertson's number, which I fucking love. But also, she's going for 21 the year we were actually married.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Her friend Ariel is Ottawa Senators, number 7. Ben's fiance M is Chicago Blackhawks, number 69. Kai is Vancouver Canucks, number 15. And Hannah's friend Ashley is Dallas Stars, number 5. What we're doing as well is to make this a little bit more official is the girls will be wearing the white jerseys, the away jerseys, and the guys will be wearing the home jerseys. Taylor, I'm getting him an official ref's shirt because Taylor is the officiant for the wedding. And so he'll be reffing the game. I've already talked to John about this. When everybody the day of the game or the day before the game, the night before, I'm going to have everybody get together. We're probably going to be out somewhere at like a bar or something. And I'm going to have the jerseys with us and I'm going to pull them up and we're going to do kind of like a quote unquote draft for it.
Nice.
And so like it's gonna I'm gonna have John help me edit it to where it looks like an actual draft. We're gonna take videos from an actual draft and edit it in so that when the reception happens, as we're out taking photos and everything, people can see the draft go down for the two teams, and then they can see the pregame that we're going to film as well. And then hopefully we're done with photos. We get to come in and see the game with everybody else in the reception right before it really starts.
Do I get to stand off the side like the coaches with clipboards pointing and get raging about the ref calling bad games?
Yeah. We've got and then Hannah, if Hannah's team wins, Hannah wants me to learn a dance from I think it's from Brave. The dance between the king and queen on Brave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She wants me to learn that, so we'll dance to that if she wins. If I win, however, I thought long and hard about this.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got her. I got her good. Hannah has to recite the to be or not to be scene from Hamlet. However, the catch, it's not just the to be not to be scene. It must be done in the original Klingon.
How did I know that's where you were headed? How did I know?
Because as stated by Christopher Plummer, aka General Chang, in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, you have not experienced Shakespeare unless you've heard it in the original Klingon.
Yeah, I mean, facts.
I thought long and hard about it. I really did. I was like, man, what do I want? Hannah wants to dance. I want something good. I want something that's going to slightly embarrass her, but it's going to be a fun fucking memory for both her, me, and everybody there. You know what? You know what's sexier than anything? My wife learning Klingon. I'm going to make her learn Klingon to recite a fucking plane. And so that is how I came to that conclusion, and I fucking love it. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Our photographer, our videographer for the wedding, we've got this guy. We told him about the hockey game too, because he's like, okay, so what are you guys looking for at the wedding? Da 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 da. And we're like, yeah, we're doing this. And then she asked me about the hockey game, and he goes, "There's a hockey game? Like, who are y'all gonna go see?" And it's like, "Oh no, we're actually playing each other the day before the wedding." He goes, "Oh, I want in on that. I want to film that. Please let me film that."
He's gonna use it as advertisement.
Yeah, right. So he's adamant about it. He is a great guy. Him and his wife are phenomenal people. From the jump, they were like, as soon as we started talking to them, because they're like, we want to get to know you guys, because we only really want to deal with our kind of people. And when they found out who we were, they're like, oh, you were definitely our kind of people. After your wedding, we're definitely hanging out as friends. I'm like, we're cool with that. But yeah, we talked about the hockey game, and his eyes lit up, and he goes, "There's a hockey game. Oh, this is great." So he's like, "Is this going to be on ice?" I was like, "Dude, if I could get some of my friends on ice, I would fucking love it, because I know half of them would fall down, but also the half that would fall down was the same half that would break. So kind of can't put them on ice."
Yeah, that's. I appreciate that.
Then it's not hockey. It's road hockey, which isn't the same.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. We've got a place, an outdoor course picked out where we're gonna go for it and everything. But yeah, it's a really quick 1st to 5, because like I said, I don't want to make it a full thing, because I'm not trying to watch a full fucking hockey. I'm not trying to make everybody sweat their asses off the day before my fucking wedding, because I don't want everybody coming into the wedding smelling like fucking ass.
Oh, that's when you showered before. Jeez, hygiene, people.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't trust everybody, all right? Like, I love you all. I love everybody that's going to be a part of this, but at the same time, I don't trust y'all not to shower.
At the store. Make sure you shower. This is your wake-up call.
But, it's been... But, it's just a real quick 1st to 5, something to put on.
Yeah.
to watch everybody, have fun. And also, what we're competing for is this. This is made out of a couple of red Solo cups. It's some duct tape and gold spray paint, but this is Lord Yarbrough's cup. Now, hopefully, and I'm trying to find someone to help me do this, is I want this to get 3D scanned, and then I want a 3D printer to make it about the same size as a Stanley Cup. And then we're going to paint it gold and have like a giant ass fucking Lord Yarbrough's cup.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to Nerdstown, where we do things with Solo cups.
Dude, look, I'm telling you, I fucking go all out, all right? Look, I told, like, one of the false leaving, when me and Hannah are supposed to, leave the wedding and go into the car, the false one we're going to do for that. You remember the trend on TikTok where it was like, this is my Hoser's Yell moment in my life?
Yeah.
We're leaving to that song so that forever, when people hear that song and hear the yell, they'll think of my wedding because I'm a petty bitch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I know what I am, and I know I want to be remembered forever. So fuck you guys.
Oh yeah, Chris, whose name is at the top of that trophy?
That would be yours.
Am I the only one on the trophy?
Well, you weren't, but that other person we no longer talk to, so I spray painted the mouth.
Ah.
Yeah. But again, we only did it the 2 times.
Oh, that's true.
Because everybody lost interest in it. But Ray, to tell you what it was, is I had NHL 24, and so I'd ask, all of our friends to kind of pick a team, ask 8 friends to pick an NHL team, and then put them all in the brackets and see who would win the Stanley Cup. And John beat the other person who was on top of that cup this year, and then we did it again, and it was me versus the other person that was supposed to be on there, and they beat me. I was so pissed too. I was so mad.
Oh,
God. But oh my God, dude, I can't stand NHL 24 because it doesn't fucking matter what team I put the Stars up against in the fucking Stanley Cup. They won't fucking win. It's like, fuck that horse shit. Y'all just don't want to give Pete DeBoer a fucking Stanley Cup. But then again, we don't have Pete DeBoer anymore, so we got a full brand new coaching staff this year.
That's good.
And it would be, but I'm not happy about our coach.
I know Canucks is under some construction right now.
The coach for the Stars is the assistant coach for the Vegas Cheating Knights. I cannot stand the Knights. I've even said it like this: if my son grows up, he plays hockey, and he gets to the NHL, and he is drafted by the Golden Knights, I will go to the games. I will support him wholeheartedly. I will buy his jersey and hang it on my wall, but it will not touch my fucking skin other than to put it in the fucking box.
I was about to say, even put it in the box and to purchase it, he's going to wear fucking gloves.
You know what? Yeah, I fucking will, because I can't fucking stand it. Dude, like, my hatred for the Knights is like a Yankees fan's hatred for the fucking Red Sox. Okay? And it doesn't matter if you're a baseball fan or not. If you know nothing about baseball, you know the Yanks, you know the Red Sox. Universal. Yeah, they're universal, and you know those two teams hate each other. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I think that hatred for the Red Sox is just I think everybody in the world just hates them except for like a small group.
The hatred for New England teams is everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you got the Patriots, which people can't stand unless you're from New England. You got the fucking Celtics, which people can't stand unless you're from fucking Boston. You got the Sox, which people can't stand unless you're from fucking Boston. And you got the Bruins. Now, the Bruins are, honest to God, the only exception. And the only reason the Bruins are the exception is because of Willie O'Ree and Bobby Orr.
Yeah.
Those two great names are the only reason the Bruins get a fucking slide. But other than that, the Bruins, come on. I mean, look, to put it to you into perspective, they traded their captain in the middle of the fucking season this past year. And what did the captain do? Went to Florida and won the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
I mean,
I bet they had instant regret after that.
Sucks for the Bruins, but at the same time, good for Marchand. I mean, I can't stand Brad Marchand. I fucking hate him. He's a dick. But I mean, he's a really good person off the ice. Personally, I like who he is off the ice, but he's a fucking dick on the ice. I can't stand him as a player. I fucking hate him.
I heard he's really mean in person.
Oh yeah, he can be, but I mean, he does a lot of good charity work. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But no, I cannot fucking stand the Knights. My son ever plays for the Knights. I'll go to the games. I'll support like a motherfucker. I will cheer the loudest cheers for my son on the ice. But you will never hear me say "Go Knights." You will never hear me chant the Knights chants, and you will never see me in a bit of Knights merch.
But you just said it.
You know what I mean?
You love me.
You know, and honestly, it's debatable or not that if my son wins the Stanley Cup with the Knights, if I'll even touch the cup.
No, I'm calling bullshit on that. You will touch the cup and then douse your hand in rubbing alcohol and go like this a bunch of times.
No, I will touch it. I will touch it, but only on the part that says the Dallas Stars 1999 team. That's the only part of the cup I'll touch. Be like, yeah, I touched it.
I can see you touching it and then dousing your hand in rubbing alcohol after.
I touch it. I just won't touch it. I just won't touch the Knights jersey as I grab it from him. Because hey, technically, even when he wins it as a Knights player, it won't have the Knights on there yet. So I'm good.
Oh, Chris, we love you.
I can't stand the Knights. I fucking hate them. Look. First of all, I've hated the Knights since the way they came into the fucking draft, right? Because 2020 brought two new teams. The Knights and the Kraken. And the Kraken went about the draft the correct way. They went about it the correct way. The Knights,
they were so snobby.
And they stole every great player from every fucking team, just about.
Yeah.
Tried like hell to steal all the great players from all the good teams. Then they get to the playoffs that year, cheated like hell, and I mean it blatantly. Like, again, I know what it sounds like as a Dallas Stars fan to say the Knights cheated to knock the Stars out of the playoffs, but it's blatant as fuck. Blatant as fuck. They cheated.
There was a lot of calls that they didn't call.
Yeah. They cheated like hell, beat the Stars in the third round, and went to the Stanley Cup final. Cheated like hell there to win the cup their first year. Blatant bullshit. Okay, they cheated all the way up. They've been cheating every year since. Hell, they tried like hell to cheat Edmonton. The only problem with Edmonton this past year is Edmonton cheated more. Because, oh God, I hate the Edmonton Oilers too. Fuck.
I'm a Canadian and I hate the Oilers. They're so dumb.
But David's the best player in hockey. No, the fuck he's not. Okay? Fuck McDavid. Fuck McDavid. All right?
He's under a lot of...
He is. And he's McFucking horse shit. Just like McDonald's. You see the MC in the front? That means horse shit. Can't stand
He's under a lot of hot water right now.
I just found it fucking funny that all the everybody's like, oh, this is the year for comebacks. This is the year for comebacks. Oh, look, this team lost last year in the playoffs, and now they're winning. And then oh, it's a matchup against the Florida Panthers and the Oilers again, 2 years in a row. Look, the Oilers are going to win this year. And I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not. I don't like Florida. I can't stand the Panthers either. But I was rooting like a motherfucker for the Panthers. Oh my God, this year, I was rooting like a motherfucker for the Panthers. I was like, oh, please make McDavid cry. I can't wait. And dude, when they won the Stanley Cup and they panned over to see Leon Draisaitl and McDavid on the bench and they're fucking doing that shit, I'm like, oh yeah, cry bitch. Cry bitch, cry. Cry bitch, cry. Fucking 2 years in a row and you still couldn't fucking do it because you're fucking trash. Your ass. You shouldn't have been there. Shouldn't have fucking been there. Should have been the Stars. Because again, Stars 3 years in a row in the third round. Cheated out of it first time. Second time, I'm gonna be honest. The Edmonton Oilers and the Stars last year. Okay. As much as I'd love to say that the Edmonton Oilers cheated last year, they didn't. The problem is that they ran our top lines too goddamn much. They didn't put other players in during the playoffs. And again, don't get me wrong. I hate Wedgwood as a goalie. He's a shit goalie, in my opinion. He's past his prime, and he is not a decent goalie anymore. But dear God, running Ottinger the way they did last year, Ottinger got fucking tired, and so by the fourth game,
I heard he got hurt, but after the playoffs, I heard that he went for an exam or whatever, and he had some like really bad strains and stuff. He was like KO for a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm loading up my Xbox. Minecraft.
No worries. They did not give Ottinger a break. They did not give our top lines a break. They spent our guys. They spent our guys, and so we lost last year.
Yeah. I was expecting the Stars to win, to be honest. I think that game I was rooting for the Stars hardcore. After the Canucks got bounced out.
This year, however, this past year, Oilers and Stars again. Our top lines were rested. Our top lines were good to go. Otter was good to go. DeSmith had taken over a few games already. Otter was rested, good to go. They cheated like hell this past year, and I fucking know it. Yeah. And the only reason I know is because John would see the Stars on at the bar that he would karaoke at. And he would go, dude, this is bullshit. Even he was saying, hey, this is bullshit. Ain't this supposed to be called? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. John, who knows nothing about hockey, watch those games. Yeah. John, who knows nothing about hockey, watch those damn games and goes, they're cheating like a motherfucker. And what had me rolling was game 4 between the Stars and Edmonton Oilers this past year. First 3 games, the Edmonton Oilers beat the fuck out of our players on the ice. Fourth game, our guys had enough of it. Pete DeBoer had enough of it and said, get them. So our Stars bullied the fuck out of those motherfuckers. Took Darnell Nurse off the fucking ice.
Hell yeah.
Beat the dog shit out of it. Oh my God, I can't stand Darnell Nurse. Fuck that pussy. But
what? I hate when you can tell when certain refs, even though they're not supposed to be biased, but you can tell when some of them are getting paid off.
Oh yeah.
By teams, and it's like, dude, what the fuck?
But yeah, fucking after game 4, press conference comes out. The coach for the Edmonton Oilers is like, well, we didn't like how the Stars were playing. They were playing very rough tonight, and we just didn't like that. We're asking for a new reffing staff because, well, they won the game, and we didn't like that because they were bullying us, and they took out Darnell Nurse off the ice, and it just wasn't nice.
Oh my God, get over it, baby. Welcome to hockey.
I'm like, you're asking for new refs because the refs got tired of being paid off by a cheating ass fucking team. And so after the first 3 games, when we bullied the fuck out of you on the 4th one, now we need new refs? Yeah, because you need to pay new ones that are actually going to take the payment this time, huh? Is that what it really was? And again, They took us out. Again, I don't like being that guy to say, oh, these people cheated to get us out because, again, I've watched the Rangers go against the Astros every fucking year in the playoffs. And the Astros always take us out. And I can't fucking stand the Astros. Now, again, when it comes down to the World Series and the Astros are in the World Series, I'll root for them because they're a Texas team. Okay. And we're Texas proud. Okay. But other than that, I can't stand the Astros. I love to see them lose. The Astros, other than 2017, are not a cheating team, really. I mean, they will when they can, because everybody does when they can, because it's just how sports are played.
That's just
Personally,
sport.
but they, when they bully up on the Rangers, it's like, okay, well, they were better than us this time, you know. But in 2023, when we beat the fuck out of them and went to the fucking World Series, it's like, holy shit, holy shit, you know. I'm not a guy that says, oh, my sports team lost, the other team cheated. I'm a guy that watches the game and goes, that was horseshit. That was a cheating move. That should have been called. That should have been called. Ref, where are you? I'll do that with any game.
When Chris and I were watching the one game in 2023 of the Canucks versus the Stars, he's a really good, like, when his team, like, not loses, but like when the Canucks, when my team would score points, he would be like, nice, your team, like, he's very supportive. Although when his team scored, there was a bit of gloating, which ticked me off because I didn't rub it in your face, but okay. I see how it is.
But also, I mean, if I remember correctly, one of our players did a dirty hit on one of the Canucks. Yeah, and it wasn't called. And even I was like, "Hey, where the fuck was that call? That was bullshit."
Because again, I'm that guy. Like, are you kidding me?
I will fucking do that anytime. Fucking. I
got so mad at him. I got so mad at Chris, and I was like, "You're a freaking team!" And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." I didn't do it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was horseshit.
Whoa.
I'm like,
whoa.
Anyways, it is 11:30 at night for me. Yeah.
It's been about a 3-hour stream, if not more. So, guys, we're gonna end it here. I know this hasn't been. I mean, it kind of ended as a typical episode, but it hasn't been. I know the start of this was very rough.
Yes.
Again,
very dark.
Hannah will be putting in the comments of this video our GoFundMe link. So, I mean, if you guys are inclined to, please donate if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it, okay? I don't want anybody feeling bad about not being able to donate. It's okay. We have plenty of friends that are, they're strapped right now and cannot themselves. And they've been feeling bad about it, and I keep telling them, don't. We're going to make it. We're going to be okay. Know that. We are going to be safe. We will be fine. But anything is welcomed. Again, for DV survivors, don't do this shit alone. It's not worth going alone. I am probably one of the strongest people in the friend group that I have. I'm the strongest person in my family. And I'm telling you, I can't handle this alone. I'm not good enough to do this alone. So please reach out, okay? Like I said, if you're a member of the Blue Book Club, there are resources in this Blue Book. Use them, please.
And this message isn't even just to the survivors. I know for a fact, as someone that suffered silent of DV, the people that are suffering silent and don't know how to do anything of it, there's people out there. There's safe houses that you guys can reach out to. All it takes is just that one little step, and that will get you there.
Remember this. Remember this. For those of you that are watching, remember this little notion right here. Put your thumb and cover it with your 4 fingers. That is the international sign for help. Okay, most people know that. If you're out at a bar, ask for the angel shot. And if a bartender does not know what an angel shot is, you need to get the fuck out of that bar immediately and go to another one. An angel shot is not an actual drink, but it's something you can ask for in front of anyone, and a bartender will immediately know. They will pour you a drink of any kind. They'll probably pour you just some random whiskey in a shot glass and hand it to you so that you have a drink, and then they're going to call to get you some help. Okay? Again, don't do this shit alone. Your mental health matters. You matter. Okay? You're here for a reason. And if you don't know that reason just yet, it's coming. You'll find it. But I guarantee you, you're here for a reason. Don't take us. Don't take you from this world. Stay here. You're more important here. And you can do more here. Once you survive this, and once you get out of this, tell your story and help those that aren't out of it yet. Because I promise we're all stronger and better together. I love you guys. For the US bound guys, 988 is that number. Please call if you need them. We love you. This is your mayor signing off.